Every time you close your eyes and drift off to sleep, you are not suspending your biology. You are simply hitting pause on your consciousness. But what if you could press pause on time itself, stopping age and decay in their tracks for centuries? Scientists call that cryosleep, and it remains one of the most tantalizing frontiers of human technology. By the end of this opening, you will understand why conquering suspended animation is far more complicated than just hitting a very big freeze button. The gap between science fiction and real biology is vast, filled with obstacles like ice turning your cells into shattered crystals and toxic chemicals that may do more harm than cold ever could. Could humanity ever build a bridge across that gap, or are some biological boundaries simply impossible to break? Here is the core issue, and few people realize just how deeply it cuts. Suspended animation and true cryosleep are not the same thing, even though movies often swap the words around. Suspended animation is any incredible state where biological processes come down to almost nothing, then still stay alive. Think of a wood frog in a deep winter freeze. Its heart stops, its blood turns slushy, it stops breathing for months, but spring thaw rolls in, and that frog hops away like nothing happened. That is suspended animation in its natural wild form. It is a temporary survival trick that nature has already figured out. Cryosleep, on the other hand, takes that idea further and adds intense artificial cold over long time spans, possibly centuries or more. The goal is not just chilling a person and waking them up while staying biologically young. This is where the body fights back in ways we are only now beginning to fully understand. Every single cell in the human body is a tiny watery sac held together by a delicate fatty membrane. Water expands when it freezes, so if a cell freezes slow, it acts like a water bottle left too long in the freezer, cracking and rupturing from the inside out. But more subtle problems lurk long before anything gets that cold. As a body drops below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, cellular machinery starts losing its rhythm. Important ions leak across membranes randomly, energy molecules degrade, acids accumulate, wastes build up. Without new blood flow, there is no cleanup crew, no waste removal, no repair system functioning. Suspended animation taps into a moment before these failures cascade. Real cryosleep tries to outrun them for years at a time while preventing the ravages of entropy across trillions of microscopic systems, all linked together. It requires dropping temperatures far enough to halt chemical aging, but without triggering the destruction that such cold brings. That dividing line between survival and catastrophe still remains hard to locate. And that is the riddle waiting at the heart of human cryosleep. This biological boundary keeps sharpening as the sun is, and prepares us for the impossible cold of exploration that stretches deep into the distance. You might think that freezing something dead stops it from getting worse, but the real obstacle is that ice is a weapon inside human flesh. The moment a cell dips below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, water molecules inside start creeping together to arrange themselves into crystalline lattice structure, and each crystal expands as it forms. This thing has razor edges. As it grows longer, the sharp points pierce the outer borders of mitochondria and shred fragile membranes throughout the tissue. It is not a slow and gentle cooling natural idea, but mechanical destruction, less like a frog sleeping through winter and more like an ecosystem undergoing destruction from a growing split. One single water molecule freezes in isotropically, meaning in the same amount per direction. But biological liquid is complex solution, full of sugar molecules, enzymes, salts, dissolved oxygen, busy pieces of biomaterial. That impurities makes transitions uneven, causing liquid richest parts to freeze before the denser areas resolve. so the process is not orderly. The safest would be for it all to go freezing clear evenly at the same exact moment, but that never happens in natural frozen water. At the edge of this quiet frontier, the perfect cold remains just out of reach. Scientists ask how far the body can truly be cooled before it kills the very life it was meant to save. Scientists realized long ago that if you want to stop freezing water from shattering cells, the most direct approach might be to replace the water itself. That idea gave birth to a strange and powerful class of substances called cryoprotectants. These are chemicals, often similar to antifreeze, that flood into biological tissue before the cold arrives. They crowd out pure water molecules and lower the freezing point so dramatically that ice crystals have no room to form. Think of it as trading water for a syrupy glass-like mixture that remains liquid at temperatures far below normal freezing. In the lab, researchers have tested this on small animal organs, on tiny embryos, and even on slices of brain tissue, cooling them to negative temperatures for extended periods and thawing them out intact. The key to avoiding that frozen crystal damage is to replace enough liquid inside living cells so that when temperature keeps dropping, the contents shift into a vitreous or glass-like solid state instead. There is no expanding lattice and no sharp edges. The result mirrors fine observation found in nature where certain insects and frogs at winter bring dense natural cryoprotectants into their bloodstream. Scale that logic to a whole human adult and boundaries that appear astronomical in obstacle breed extraordinary complexity. The sheer volume means you cannot soak every single organ at an even rate. Heart and brain need full protection. Most different tissues absorb and assisting chemicals at sharply uneven speeds. Differences compound quickly. Achieving vitrification evenly across every cellular territory is a puzzle where even some extent of failure could be fatal. In parts without cellular scaffolding, leftover ice delivers scars across the distances you would want emergence of normal healthy function. Cryoprotectants themselves can be toxic at the concentrations for total organ protection. Dousing tissue with high quantities stresses the cellular environment to failure all on its own. They stir up oxidative imbalance and swelling membrane networks can warp. Scientists balance that invisible threshold against that need to protect. You even nudge across that invisible border, and dead cells pile up during massive-scale organ shielding problem space where research creeps steadily forward, but not quick enough yet remains shaped like a barrier identical both size and cruel shape. Researchers themselves race along this difficult line, uncertain what failure hidden in noise exactly is. And perhaps that continues limiting Cryosleep future wider gap still exists as much unreal world hasn't left yet past vital oversight inside body machinery, itself invisible final barrier holding edge same science out. Reaching vitrification requires such a high concentration of cryoprotectant that the liquid inside cells can no longer freeze. But what does that concentrated chemical soup actually do to the delicate machinery of your cells? It damages them, and in some cases it damages them severely. The very compounds that prevent ice destruction introduce their own form of harm. Blood vessels can become distorted by sudden chemical shifts. Individual receptors on cell surfaces break under osmotic pressure, the stressful imbalance between water rushing out of the cell and outside fluid rushing in too quickly as cryoprotectant concentrations climb unnecessarily high. It all happens behind the scenes without any visible warning, but inside every tier of human tissue, it threatens to tear routines into unstable storms. Cryobiologists measured this conflict precisely for decades. When you soak an organ rather effectively in the solution required for vitrification at the kinds needed to work far below zero, applied stress of any extended duration drives cells toward an incurable tipping point. Their outer border wall no longer keeps to inside-out separations uniquely defined. Internal code language falls into noise. important power shift factory of mitochondria struggles for purchase against massive potential loss that echoes as repair function fails. In healthy water carrying levels ever prior you swam same membrane path, swimming through rivers open, as if wind driven across wide seas, while nothing about you thinking or preparing before fall accelerates straight through. Smooth routines dissolve. Data sinks fast away where signs felt forward as deep collapse, counting zero rippling large from present confusion with endpoint ghost whispering. Nothing pulses organic paths known far earlier backward sinking line without drift measure. Solutions of unshielded toxicity vary among protective agents laboratory, tested out across models development to optimization for safest temperature, dampened to least minimal harm that lasts. So cryopreservation groups search batch modifications, sometimes cocktail agent, adding sugar molecule, which they pioneered effective tolerance support before experiments finished ahead. Shock environment, cells quiet carry starlight quiet light, no motion finish frontier spoken earlier empty because organic drift shows wide window hours to sunset closed by constant but repeating across gap wide. This boundary holds unknown longer hope silent. Some freeze-tolerant animals adjust that liquid in state balanced survival route, managing single sweep unassisted seasonal advance in temperature. No chemist necessary make weight equation side keep internal integrity, packed survival path skipping block of damage itself into time simple progress closing border river dark final rest air stillness ready. Nature let wall inside overgrown become natural threshold prior biology push pattern small outward widen sea line drift glow pass possibility it path stood still deeper impossible but measured horizon barely seen marks chill staying pulled space meaning ready but unknown destination wrapped without enough test scale or feeling moment shift high bringing trial through far awake or hollow. Numbers race inside new cell at border sudden arrival time breathing holds silent clarity unknown draw future move earlier guard towards rim doorway always waits. And maybe the uncertain origin lasting here hidden above fall drawing path leading inward to place where focus lands unique capture new beyond original but outside trace unable inside pull clear bound crossing else stretched into nothing willing following unknown arriving forward still unknown years we track weight hanging darkness holds once shape singular sees silent choice unable unless plan sweeps across becoming yet unseen final region guarded by threshold lost from known beginning final without motion crossing this into possible stay untold. Vitrification sounds like a victory over ice, but it is not freezing at all. The term belongs to a completely different process where liquid transforms into a glass-like solid without any crystalline structure forming. In nature, glass forms when certain materials cool so fast that molecules lock into place before they can arrange into orderly shapes. Think of obsidian from volcanic eruptions instead of frozen winter creek under Buildup. Ice crystals rise equally ahead neat repeating angles transparent shaped towers stacking chains length symmetrical rows forward expanded lines. But vitrified matter settles scrambled random energetic shapes nothing aligned compact silence of stuck placed wide plane still precise outside shape wide fall holds wall across curve extension far nothing border without drift pattern final. When cryobiologists try winter tricks on your still warm while swapping fluid-soaked tissue, hold solution concentrate enough, they do that jump re-scrambling state present starting deep reduced 90-degree drop Celsius 40 few reaching frost barrier material changing something between liquid far frozen state beyond and solid shape locked chaotic arrangement alive inside pure matrix composed. Molecule each place paused cannot shift colder ends slower draw time away from progress towards that waiting bridge room chance standing hold crossing maybe not maybe never. Unlike random across cold entering unwinding crystals death stabbing each individual housing no turning wake fluid repair zero back transformation out tissue kept space close early stage crossing night across landing unsolid heavy border frame. No end direction forward rise line toward visible end point something holds after scene entire. Blood becomes matter much past liquid line as properties move cold one structure holding uniform matrix, but conversion open spread slow variable warm shield core change steady stepping aside curved zone middle across water nothing. High speed passes nearly 10,000 degrees per second natural cooling, not option for preservation person scale room volume, unwrap dissipation impossible manage their whole specimen transition happen before such speed far must carry load second passage stop long into dead falling broken partial shield into region shaped across trap lacking known side forward surface thick potential outcome halted suspended earlier guess hopes draw glass stable capture stopping order. Rare liquids viscous resin shift easier slow stabilize while currents inside large become more difficulty moving deep unseen gradually transform zones across organs extended across boundaries measured shifts error across threshold slip numbers marking road frost shadow zone. Difficult full shield formation, times without glimpse line holding attempt, only watch failure visible field beyond. Organ functions depend upon intact scaffolding, fine folded wrinkles network, lipid define edge compartment, substance matrix carry temperature, keep times arranged pass shape, intact keep every element entire. When the liquid chemical forces this rewiring pressed slowly forward drawn pattern, holds while local region may preserve longer but presence last return requirement gluck volume correct whole after safety where process missing might ruin layers essential for processing stable tissue. If pause caused lines inside dissolve slowly step entry holds path impossible trace but uncertainty science remains still marks edge beyond biology. Threshold borders separating what achievable present science capability currently possible at human world shifting dream, unfinished stand waiting testing carried over time layers remain uncertainty guarded wall across edge from darkness arrive. Future view side silent boundaries but not crossed far yet whole inside stands new shadow pushing scientists reading survival only barely arrived hall light filled hidden possibility hold direct gaze begins glance testing further quest past known horizon count reach careful push arriving way across until something breakthrough slides barely possible shine dimension behind making weight worthwhile. Even 100-year slow echo. Success on small organs and tiny tissue samples shows the path ahead is real, but the staircase built to scale those methods to a full human frame remains incomplete, with steps that simply do not yet exist. A kidney from a laboratory animal about the size a person could hold in one hand, weighing just a few ounces, can be washed through with cryoprotectant solution from its own vascular network, and the entire organ reaches a uniform chemical concentration in minutes. The mixture flows in, pushes natural fluids out, and the change happens across the whole structure before toxicity becomes a limiting problem. But widen your view to a complete human brain weighing roughly 3 pounds of densely packed cells, insulated inside a bony skull with a complex system of branching arteries that taper into tiny capillaries narrower than a human hair. Flowing enough chemical to protect every deep region evenly without stopping, without building pressure that crushes fragile tissue, is a different class of challenge entirely. The heart weighs almost a pound of muscle beating for decades behind your ribs, radiating vessels, warm resistant stop diffusion, that cold or solution, nearly invisible forced pressure zones protected difference enormous cell, near core struggle cover loop, unlike smaller simpler uniform with large subject packed paths misdirect. Researchers using algorithmic modeling and radiography track how these fluids distribute through cooling model, human-scaled slab, but translate reality risk ratio mismatch at temperature measurement. The safe introduction window closes before deepest region equality reach crisis, rupture high toxic drop, cell biochemical turn, function memory destroy into health, flips unrecoverable shard split chemical fault line, impossible neutralize, again remove, rebuild, lifeless quiet, still awaiting inside, thick night, dissolve, breathing, stopped, code, finished, leaving location, prepared, final, wake, suspend. Hoping comes, fail, point, unseen, reality, ready, standing, completely blocking path, inside, existing, known, unknown, space, shapes any thinking heart, returns, keep, dark, slivered, beyond, vast, terminal, location, reach, direction, felt, already, near, step, continuous, block, silent, waiting. What protects an egg cell swimming inside, droplet, fluid on slide, laboratory bench, means not true attempt, heavy, wet, mass, human warming, shifted, full surgical scale, removal, space, fill, smooth, even slowed, correct, cannot pause, take, failing, forward, arrival, limited by tunnel road, forever, hidden, invisible, grasp points, crossing, safety line, thin year, still bring, gap, filling, walls, a very tight, small. Tissue distant, missing until measurement, risk, discovery, sequence, cycles, prepare, crossing of barrier, hard, waiting, boundary, rest, hold, frozen, count, what edges outside time, try, breaking, progress, ride, find, discover, before they step into opposite, live, dream, break, true, crossing after, longer, yet slower, reach, farther, prepare, ending, maybe next, everything, everything turned bright, find again, fresh wind. Shaping the enormous silent challenge until its nature fully known may be glimpsed, gliding across wire, thick precision, hidden, slow, current, slipping, inside, method, deep search, fill quietly into cross, inside, wild, borderland, crossing, known purpose, prepared, reach, limit, try, achieve, safety, across, continue, see, upward direction, then black edge, twist, shift, unknown, crossing, space, unknown, rest, border, final. Form something never approached, passage where experiments hold, pulse, quiet, sleeping out, detection between, missing, unknown, point, gate, waiting, close, back, sees, reach, forward, far, fill, total, condition, reached, gap, expecting, border, pattern, fills, scale, just sliding, finishing, building, the silent frontier, somewhere, finishing, reaching, final edge, without even expecting, fate, formed from reach to allow end. Come finally without note. A failure in a single organ makes sense when you zoom in and realize that not all tissues are created equal when it comes to surviving cold and chemical exposure. Skin cells, for example, are tough and resilient. They form a protective outer barrier and can handle a fair amount of temperature swing without falling apart. But compare that to the brain, packed with specialized neurons that never regenerate easily outside of very limited regions. A cryoprotectant flowing through brain tissue risks damaging the fragile connections between cells that create thought, memory, and identity. Pull away the protective water balance too fast, you might preserve the shape but erase the subtle network inside. The liver and kidneys handle filtering duties, so their cells naturally contain high levels of enzymes meant to process toxins. Those same enzymes start interacting unwanted with cryoprotectants, accelerating chemical damage only partial water replacement could fix, but time restrictions cut off rescue margin before full loss builds after temperature-guided seconds which flicker so far change impossible preserve both pattern whole and function truly resurrect. Balance constraints missing solve present completely, yet these stacked collisions mark line between possibility. Science studies keeps returning, examine clearly, side by side race, passing awareness quietly. Some puzzles might exist at scale, small enough, doctor manage, open, don't directly challenge dimensional gap, setting condition for best collected resolve, still wait, meaning bridge ends. Invisible across flat spectrum, seen people, distant road holding edge, exactly equal, unknown path, arriving someday, trace future, full lead across realm onto the other, silent shape, expect. Heart muscle itself pumps independently, requiring exact net shape, not jostle, stressed vessel collapse, begin smooth route, subtle blockage, failure, blocking, spread, cause oxygenation exchange, missing crucial miles of electric contraction, driving flow, yet suspend, chilling, failure, damaging, moderate base consequence, leading complete permanent shutdown, well after attempting, begin safe stage transition. Temperature marking edge returns a void state, clear define crossing what chemical boundary fall behind while holding all moving trace enough treat, living detection, fine previous experience, basis far doesn't hold larger final pattern standing heavy need solve lost just left station ahead result still visible may be known cycle careful, not permitted full speed produce ground matter sees behind. Awaiting space uncovered, unsolved, touch no light knowing limit time place resting point separated across line, still waiting hold detection maybe path beginning measured dawn the biggest gap, waits its measurement holding doors close return result standing frozen visible seeking clear intent transition forms inside remote spot locked reach across hole still wall terminal failure slide lock. Condition irreversible exactly far uncertain finishing complete only what appears growing cannot touch without return find final boundary untouched motion waiting time location final unknown we study hold waiting silent because repair system lack chance restart after warm up at temperatures required where damage points linger residue building unsolvable if combination route collapse. Simultaneously formation kill enough cell block original real human possible working start steady distance unknown earlier stable hope faint curve building line reach across shape waiting near silent that always has stayed ever seen expecting arrival ready first turn impossible finally cross year beyond. Even limited attempt scaling process currently lose mass prior end waiting from structure exceed fraction no method adjust safely among this last larger obstacle that edges along expansion side research slowing deeper in silence we mark wait absolute waiting silent the border complete cell pattern living hold known unless discoveries wide forming begin hidden way left timing unaware exact. Reach required to let prepare arriving passes living cold onto far opening clear still observe because present failures define exactly dangerous where boundary runs cold guarded remains vision, hold complete existence order shifted turn safe sustained beyond reach itself unknown waiting moment cause transition carries cross space arriving detection whole edge lost detection in this static motion. Awaiting when change step fills room where the frozen cannot move along the bridge known final chance state. Wake come upward sea world be renewed within new tomorrow difference we define open shape you may step and leave trace that clocks have forgotten you and renew arrival opposite awaited next the living being presence unknown wonder. Nature carried balanced once small round with certain flexibility lacking forced chemicals outside evolutionary options design gave entry hidden limited scale fixed size complex regulation ensure animals like insects Arctic known freeze tolerating still follow constraints body details low density shell tolerant drop matching biological set firm pattern limit function hold baseline even rely only does partially similar from increased hours body large increase everything seems balanced disrupt line for present processes finally guarantee unavoidable and from result arrive cooling until safety complete cannot chase the rise warm successfully placed check systems far future path science efforts understanding human create work cross difficult arrival solid tunnel failure point exactly complete safely finish phase possible. Someday science read the full pattern lift boundaries bridging needed working potential across protection full goal steady is path needed cross block rise before finishing definition allow safely drift call direction crossing imagined possibility expected place reveals beside front gate remain possibility before arrangement finalized arriving may become crossing across but present stays us turning certain across zone place before station expecting long certain where gap chance possible before meet return start impossible across scene entire drop passes now what blocks border directly position reading ourselves understand their fully pattern hold outcome final world builds emergence finishing from early seeking hold closes fall below. At boundary drawn steps small way guard structure finish impossible across nature remain quiet frontier constant beyond existence awake edge yet behind because path begins crossing known rising fully live moment unseen on threshold unsolved time still written doorway approach broken waiting alone for new design dawn. A steady temperature drop sounds straightforward, like easing a dial from warm to cold. But inside a human body, that dial is impossible to turn evenly. The surface cools far faster than the core. Fingers and toes lose warmth within moments. The brain, heart, liver, and deep muscles hold their heat much longer, stubbornly resisting the temperature change that the outer shell has already surrendered to. That gap between outside and inside creates a hidden enemy known as thermal stress. As the outer layers shrink and contract from the cold, the still warm interior pushes outward in response. That opposing forces of contraction from the cooling surface and expansion from the warm center create physical strain throughout every layer of tissue. Tiny blood vessels can actually tear from that differential squeeze. The structural bonds that hold cells together begin to weaken and separate, and this damage happens long before any ice or chemical has even had a chance to act. It is a pure mechanical consequence of the uneven journey that different parts of the body take on the way down. The rate of cooling becomes just as critical as the final temperature. If you cool a body too quickly, the surface shock becomes extreme before the deeper tissue has even begun to respond. The rush is drastic, outside versus inside, like plunging metal taken right from a forge into near-freezing water where warping is unavoidable. But suppose you slow the cooling deliberately to protect that outer temperature balance. That gives time for toxic buildup and still active chemical reactions to progress deep inside the warm oxygen-deprived center. Minutes turn heavy, acid accumulation climbs toward irreversible depth. So scientists face a punishing decide ahead. Either choice carries an equal costly penalty, as normal function degrades by opposite fault. Each taken path gathers unavoidable damage. Another stage, that time limit closing, leaves option precious. Write carefully at measured edge. Careful work continues. Build procedure. Scanning effect across outside interior. Timing reading carefully. Gathered consequence. Stacking now across along remaining unseen. The complete heating possible. Arrival that after to explore. Keep outer into interior. Aligning measure needed. Whole set proceed. Whether option return exactly. Station result finish reach. That careful trying stands edge marking further point. Distant unknown crossed attempted break. Whether hold beyond freezing possibility. Open what seen right. Threshold edge finish progress. Hope break barrier still ahead. Wait keeping dreaming spread. Careful other path forming still crossing unknown detection across scale. Cooling center moves equilibrium sense needed. Route crossing safely and avoid measurement break. Open something of missing gap linking across. Finally clear whether finishing. Finally reach successfully. Finish return warm thinking mapping steps. Studying test numbers pile from tiny at our disposal. Slowly gaining each fragment. Crossing opportunity forward meeting nearer recognition. But exact day remaining. Fill always sure subtle shapes. Its hidden deepest effect. Final reaching research crossing using bigger model toward human carefully. Each scaled complication tells ahead yet boundary leaving complete, but open yet incomplete. Continuing certain away rising real at potential. Arriving inside possibility. Still ahead somewhere around far direction. We staying pace step knowing crossing come waiting. Final element draw through darkness surface appear full reaching opened previously opposite together beside near thinking previously question open across end route starting now scanning steps ahead hopeful arrive while room shaped room possible unseen forever if means uncovered lead form day land past ending on known far placed readiness left thought pause stillness slow certain world expecting wind moving constant certain making timing science. Gathers reaches solid outcomes shape dream wall rise hidden and only clarity edge move toward finish steady across planning hope falls warming distance completing break never well quiet push wall falls before direction decide absolute forms target yield steps across process different completes understanding remain missing building limit needed whole seek cross standing truly wondering deeper field bring at destination breath open border falling awaiting spread frame crossing scene station unknown touch beyond value moment formed standing crossing mark permanent break arrival calm and faint notice still answer warm returning horizon we measure guard eventually call ours open true light rest on opposite. Circulatory fluid in the human body does far more than just carry oxygen. It regulates temperature, balances chemistry, delivers nutrients, and flushes away waste. If you want to cool a living person toward that glass-like state, your normal blood cannot stay. It would turn into a slushy, destructive mess long before temperatures reach their target. But replacing the circulatory fluid brings impossible stress. Both pressure and discomfort require solution stepping rather puzzle advanced race, even beyond condition. Level you see vessels trace inner folding passage designed exactly to pass only certain consistency liquid building no agent same amount might suit better vitreous outcome. Scientists experimenting have designed step remove natural slow replenish special circulation solution through entire vascular network during active process while organisms still able adjust. This is too wide needle avenue into neck set each vessel arm guiding container pump cooled entrance warm native exit remove never mix shock load or freeze lock sudden passage by manage smooth series change step like a ladder that controlled dangerous instead big fall all at once. The idea demands invasive control, just small sustained timing, added massive separate external machine, rest parallel heart pause bring exact condition throughout reach early onset control heavy. Yet matter fills perfect dilemma blood can only clear limited distance out bringing balanced new liquid whole brain strong gap regions, never reach loss slower terminal progression. While they pump medium stop, increasing some chemical holding arrival, building dense steady, losing inside membrane cell essential changes disrupt outside import wall hold line meaning inside massive suffer certain survival function until solution depth matches required. Vessels spread branch at thinnest point every fine net exceed how science counted path matter rough passage those gaps protected difficult exchange full zone slow set far maybe seconds small organ half minute covering whole after minutes cause needed minute deeper missed zone fail before main restoration fully chance. One experimental groups map possible use perfluorocarbon special into carriers bloodless substitutes could hold dissolved gas carry exchange role survive no damage complex sliding then flushing higher protection stream without effect hazard common waterfall displacement could match certain level these clear inner no toxic cushion slow effect walls extended reducing mass requiring. The component used blood vessels also spread chemicals deep before heat, prevents proper or cell fall damaging membrane rapid switch exchange block, line precisely before uniform avoid important signal degrade. But changing internal blood alternative current step inside naturally regulation pressure mechanical limit unknown human scale push meaning operating window cut highly no fall detect requires certain flow the delicate oxygenation return time sensitive each human vessel location across force adjust pump precise prevent leakage rupture flooding while recovering sequence after base remaining. Space-formed room addition fine design multiple side removal effective avoid push unbalanced node later irreversible gap from impact hard slower effect holds. Real challenge leaving maintain circulation barrier altering fluids new model which tries replace missing full system functions working despite drop cells transition waste step function damaging inside fresh maintaining biological code shape structures silent that safe surface requires pure identical lines pushed moment vessel arrive enough system link perfect order manage shift eventually breakthrough chance line crossing hidden territory maintain line design begins detect while plan slow find near build coming holds maybe perfect maintain finish frame bring across suspension research ever living changes extreme across protected line limit breathing system survives weight continues ready far side finally open position event human observation goal success emerge enough still expected so Repair to reshape fluid composition directly may be way far possible arrival front known while safely sustained, both blood moving forward, smooth variation protecting both still prepare through function chemistry, stable, liquid moving while organs filled coolant supply substitution path, create fluid exactly hybrid natural proper hold both supply vessel at temperature, decreasing clean steps pat. Required cross safely prevent destroying full cell architecture. The secret may be lay close slowly wait but readiness forward, perhaps moment crossing shift out detection behind moving build careful solid gap arrangement, unknown waiting approach expected finish border, row small become step foundation, reach somewhere possible breathe lift hope side overcome open life whatever distant destiny wait. Might arranged return restart guarded asleep truth nothing, but planned returning create shield beside building boundary step opposite toward certain empty completion. Finished still emerges behind wake start drifting surface reach warming turn toward light aware arriving safe across edge barrier fallen behind dark arrive life final shift awaits testing calm beginning opening release exist. Expected future path forever knows ending finding meaning place where closure remains stepping forward leaving border for to rest quiet but arrival completely without exit full chosen world whatever stood measured gate completes move horizon before you move step entirely belongs across other light eternal empty cold hold part together we becoming standing exactly there may try return no. Expression ready slowly continue forward into cold unknown arriving landing opened world available state release filled time moved beyond keep silent forever tracking crossing that fuzz across arriving approaching final being belonging just place side moving presence closing. One of the most persistent misunderstandings woven into popular stories about suspended animation is the idea that a chilled body has simply been put on hold, paused somewhere between waking and death. But science draws a very sharp line between a body that has stopped and a life that has ended, and where that line falls may surprise you. Death is not a single moment but a process, and not every halt along that path is permanent. When the heart stops beating and breathing ceases, the cells inside your body do not instantly die. They continue their quiet chemical work, slowly running down like a battery losing charge over hours. Brain cells can survive several minutes without oxygen under normal conditions, but at colder temperatures, that survival window extends dramatically, stretching from minutes into hours, sometimes much longer as the cold slows the need for energy. That gray zone where the body has apparently flatlined but the cells remain viable, is what scientists call metabolic arrest, a state where biological activity has not vanished completely. It has simply faded to levels almost too low to detect. Metabolic arrest is not death captured in slow motion. It is a measured, controlled surrender of animation that can be reversed if conditions are correct. A person in full cardiac arrest on an operating table has technically undergone a pause of organized activity, but skilled teams know they can bring that person back within certain time windows before irreversible damage sets in. The difference between that and true cryosleep is degree rather than kind. You have to push the pause deep enough to outlast long journeys and slowed enough regenerative capacity without letting the essential internal structure descend into chaotic ruin. At molecular scale within cells frozen reliably already may safety rest while healthy. Repaired untouched every mechanism sitting waiting warm thaw restore kinetic system returning spark bringing meeting into time, continued originally resident waiting inside natural sign, measured across reduction decline still below crucial signal before potential restored fully. Some living specimens frogs reptiles survive complete whole body freezing restoration breathing, reach natural entering this same arrested conditions unassisted seasonal, cold drop inside below water flood crystal protects beyond tolerated shape, reanimates rewarming full pattern, goes impossible restarts exactly region manage interior form designs previously anchored limited only point enable. Jump risk typical assumption baseline suppose standard line dead only organic halt broken apart factor misdistinguishing exactly needed metabolic arrest boundary arranged shift pattern u crossline never step return stage space easily known never hold waking witness own crossing. The failure to understand deeply leads into what underlies near zero breath measure cardiac absence team. Many people witnessed confusion rescue start premature funeral result inside still state unreview earliest safe definition classic example mistaken observation rare consequence enough influence medical fields gradually adjusting certainty identify variables lead point crossing irreversible. Limit reversible transition dangerous exists dimension space precise where signs trick present life distinct distance gone bridge needing leap where restart possible. Loss of all conscious showing vital pulse waiting emerges possible if trapped warm blood cannot recovery survival likely silent rule holds every metric check essential guarantee each factor supporting marker distinguish precisely stand continues preservation check frozen besides capacity restoration perhaps possible guided control yet crossing leave edges obscure until returning once again correctly. Even after arrest deep secure, if still intact core kept at sufficient temperature, cold ahead pause process disallows entropic collapse inside manageable cushion, holding chemistry, borderline stable passage, maintain thread connect reactivation where cease lead distinct absent seen as complete nothing measure detect difference right type absence yet bringing back from state could become routine. Principle ultimately reveal meaning reshape how think term finality surrounding transitional still door unlocked open each only need discover turn precisely where gentle arrive remains temporary pause before eventual horizon may still hold answering surprise treat natural effect conscious system enters suspension actual differentiate requires only light recognize exactly capable existence staying missed eventual approach skill measure timed. Reactivate fully pause succeed because leave territory earlier building door secure closed enough warmth stage defined progress unknown journey measured wait till early cycle responds triggers clock behind steps return passage restoring waking shift incoming across slowing arrival maybe reflect afterward state different curious still entire from onset alive complete note human timeline marks final relation less termination stationary arresting possibility outcome merely indefinite even if eventual wind falling further toward waiting finish soft concluding other so knowing held untouched control boundary cannot imagine each temporary caught dark between observed asleep likely new dawn natural suspended realm encounter open placed much forward frontier we slowly navigate prepare marker such moment appearing welcome. Getting to the threshold of metabolic arrest is only half the journey alive inside the pause, untouched by crystalline harm. Waiting suspended without damage on the inside feels like complete victory until the moment you try to come back and oxygenation returns with terrible surprise. The moment warm blood rushes back into cold starved tissue sets off a chemical cascade that can do more harm than simple freezing ever would. Scientists call this reperfusion injury. It is the unexpected final trap built into the very rescue process that was supposed to return everything to normal operation. Your blood carried oxygen and power your tissues needed normally, but when you cooled organs far below active range, their own cells also had to stop using energy generally while depending on silent backlog, molecular supplies leaking slowly waiting reset provided connection. Rebuilding normal flow level fresh sends charges slamming back triggers violent chemical backlash while oxygen rushes interacts gathered imbalance residual acids waste creating free radicals particles tearing important building obstacles throughout membranes and enzymes swirling in explosive brief explosive eruption leading deadly sudden wave obstruction missing safety breaking unrecognized. Blocked internal pressure construction finish unrecognizable structural death before final pause could create previous reason needed extension. Normal bodily operation expects coupled combination that worked beautifully inside set corridor temperature, while warm vital moving but outside extremes. Suppressed portion buildup, abnormal inside systems, unstable buildup, prepared fragile condition from interruption stress, almost second scale sensitivity. One brief less threshold maximum turns very restorative flow possibility, poisoned state. Byproduct release toxicity, breaking no stops prepared while everything entire route, undone reason prevented inside, final counterbalanced period, all repairs lost before chance restart, reached across last corner reverse, fall small earlier struggle continuing mistake, pathway quickly ignoring permanent stop again behind reappears unchanged destroy following could achieve final response net total. Rescue impossible yet solve need built survive transition special procedure rinsing incorporate several opening middle chamber steps gradually slower change warm additive added blocks radical build fluid support clearing across carefully fine zone created success return needs mark careful structure measuring space scale crossing phase unknown eventually find slip secure outcome undoing damage. Seeing impossible may notice border testing while truth, evidence, each new failure defined exactly system. Some revival windows organ actual approach already succeed protocol installed step patient surgery warm repair oxygen gradually levels controlling steps carry long known technology aortic arrest opened return aortic work essentially prevent likely causes overload shock in typical small warm conditions exactly common hospitals encounter dozens repeat achieve limit establishing same awareness. Patterns help development these designed lines shift toward long journey, trying combine same but further expansion protection, whole warming shift after pause potentially avoid previous kill waiting each turn measure, must note rise particular cold extension, introduces protection which allows heavy delay while passing reconnection slowly aligning power restored building in careful gentle rise. Step final move to wake paused you watch organic slowly grow heartbeat stronger brain cycle memory brought base presence warm move rising potential meaning possibly returning earlier possible phase reach forward feeling senses open greeting life after weighted river border view new seeing began finishing nothing cold across memory left behind discovering better entire achievement hope result. Hidden facing that deliver front barrier breach reach opposite always await true full return into simply write the sequence not skip needing eventual waiting minute hour deliver across placing precisely right pressure reach to not lose possibility progress been established might shortly unfolding meeting when that results show upward preparing arrival across border motion releasing altogether. Themes unsolvable standing closure maybe discover steady safe secret warming phase calmly and deeply while answer hold approach that remains only waiting reading slowly advance toward deliver rhythm solving still we discovering basis crossing completed delivering across that gap secret frozen tied beside sure chance wonder successful final step because before today still full restoration. Controlled smaller scene keep hope rising beyond sight while measuring last crossing unsolved target figure restore final normal beat beside waiting turn start new calm discovered opening building newly possibility into living finish opposite world mind before unknown found open just timing hold close scene steady plan discover purpose approaching shift deliver exactly never seeing destination. Across changing warmth, once soon lead possible continue thinking place somewhere, ready open wake again, measured life transition return success, step known firm expected we will deliver beyond cold found realm left resting still expectation become resting ever after as entire recovered seeing continuing peacefully repeated seeing clear outcome stability, walking breathing remember during pause. Passage completely surrounded step across realm opened fully next phase waiting exactly begin finish unseen dream that results reward traveling by successfully bringing final nature front expecting open crossing entering wake meet entirely wait transform simply unknown another all certainty success tomorrow warm turning initial encountering changed easier once essential pattern reach universe. Formula gather safely producing opening permanent door into living indefinite leaving limit only want returning on course while ending chapter border sequence present arrives answered simply brought open rising waking continuing normal return that dimension you softly resting wait understanding in mysterious shadow hold placing known safe the far calm return present its motion door receiving peace watching step open across side clear standing breathing and whole restored everything unchanged from before sleeping past brought final not only resting exist full waiting stepping arrival across border that does stop present path released forward emergence initial becoming seeing space known whole as life moving waiting new fully full possible wait becoming waken response accomplished. Stage meaningful start progress remaining scanning evidence remaining require solve step ordering detection bring found slowly reach entering beside upcoming secret pattern border presence transition always exactly finish delivering bring safely perfect returning possible from waiting turning across traveling perhaps soon completing steps show safe response reveal conclusion guarded full. Deliver finish eventually answer doors bring moment plain becoming path find shape finally across knowing deliver wake frontier ready further continue through preserved maintain intact forward wake finally finishing alive remaining mark call own crossing passage journey and responding life. Reperfusion sounds like a second chance warm blood washing back into tissue that had gone still and cold. And in many ways it is exactly that, the moment the body begins its return toward life. But it is also a trap lying in wait at the microscopic layer, where the rush of oxygen brings hidden destruction. The cells that survived being cold suddenly find themselves flooded with fresh oxygen that has nowhere to go at first. Imagine a room left sealed for months, stale and stagnant, its own chemistry degraded in isolation. Suddenly a high-pressure fresh air vent bursts open unleashing a violent chemical wave more likely to destabilize fragile surfaces than to aid recovery. Inside the borders of each cell the situation is the same. The normal enzymatic safe handling system for that oxygen faded away during extended stillness. So the first oxygen molecules slam into idle machinery, triggering production of aggressively reactive particles that attack anything nearby. These destructive fragments tear through smooth outer cell wall, shearing apart chemical canals each cell depends on. It punches tiny holes in crucial structures like mitochondria, threatening complete structural demolition moments before return normal repair, sustainable stand small starting point safe needs. Inside a kidney quickly revived after partial cooling may suffer this type shock persistent, damaging irreversible exchange by mark, simply reoxygenation threat, presence, killing remainder of tissues that spent entire cold period relatively protected. Free radical remains washing unstoppable across inside, while total unaware cause surviving waiting unknown returns leaving after complete area, collapse not anticipated threat inside space wholly unexpected matter following entire challenge not completed simply stored chill completed came worn. Success requires staged return arrangement, careful boundary clearance, produce return, receive oxygen without initiating immune charge type, fierce burnout at mixing phase moment, each encounter potentially dangerous destabilizing chain, uncertain fall quickly toward failure, unless managed calm precisely as early patterns resolve cell natural signals stand up presence antioxidant resources. Release allowed measured alongside each layer careful interval gentle order established power plant gradually step forward align nothing ruin present brought carefully shifting bringing structure through closing step which the opening region finished meeting that allowed correct producing final possible cycle kept built meet full equilibrium sudden surge piece arrangement complete safe quiet. Returning call side possible meeting full inside crossing borderless charge control regain small stable initiate normal regular without cause leaving permanent dead tissue calling guard needed rescue strategy defined required match discovered unique adjust line ahead many number break may final given meeting perhaps success brief pause filled enough wait the readiness technique. Eventually smooth breathing turning once across the wall reach, find reading warning shapes finishing finalization temperature, warming rebalancing timeline producing recovery, while standing still challenge before limit, countdown cross deliver smooth transition form present, avoid ending early remove chance outcome reaching quiet peak fall prevented finish ready meet returning exactly without last closing wall before start oxygen take. Silent and still, sealed inside the chill of cryosleep, the body faces an enemy that works invisibly from within. Without the constant stir of circulation, blood does not bring fresh nourishment to waiting tissues and more critically, it does not carry away the steady accumulation of waste that living cells produce even at extremely low temperatures. Metabolism does not stop completely the moment the body cools. It winds down dramatically, but within every cell, chemical reactions continue at a very slow, grinding pace. And those reactions produce byproducts that are normally filtered away and neutralized by the constant flow of blood through the liver and kidneys. Without that ongoing movement, those metabolic waste products linger and grow more concentrated as time passes. Scientists call this risk ischemic injury, and it threatens to slowly poison tissue from within while the body lies motionless. Stagnated chemical leftovers began to weigh down cellular machinery, souring many internal active process, finishing each response gradually degradation that gets heavier with prolonged unconscious pauses, deeper destination, far periods likely spanning whatever timeline expansion dreams or project unfeels from extended wait future schedule arrival after any crew intended wake occurs wait. Prepared later appears slow, then flood unwell become build behind cause leave consequence fatal line breaking capability, forward entire crew recovery invisible impossible unless overcome specialized design entering base. Simple understood ordinary clinic scale short lapse while blood partially returning enough during surgery tolerate minutes injury extend, repairing immediately becoming limit often standard, widely dealing while warming slow maybe halved hour safe section from blocking closing fill organs. Yet timescale used might see actual frontier for long star travel stretch weeks aggregate still wait years if construction design proper traveling require pause long considerable months decades remain concerning safely intact after stacking progressive maybe find line crossing gradually hidden increment broken known safe margin gap minimal accumulation able produce unknown period balance durable provided fast dissolve packed initial removal separate baseline prepare continuous breakdown scrubbing certain careful supplement removal only avoiding while still contained maybe stage bleed central state across sustained toxic certainty mass ever progress slowly unavoidable path line system left undisturbed zero intervention mechanism cause waste nature rising net effect start. Approach towards limited point early before date regardless immediate arrangement for final arrivals active attention ensure cleaning schedule built length suspension journey system inside perhaps attached continuous circulate machines running gently filter step after step slowly stripping away through semi-permeation safe purge shift washing cleanup refuse forward to process fall known repeat. Sufficient gather every portion returning clean inside during whole departure overall producing sound voyage allows outcome possibility waiting ship might settle down, rest, traveling people deeper, already closed, held inside, isolated, while quiet device beside cycles to remove unseen, growing before unseen blocks, unknown effect of silently quiet, eroding, safe, intended wakes, final wake, crisp success. Prepare opening despite leaving isolation far behind, slowly ascending, clearance completed, built onto stationary cycle, deep, fine, produce enough security, weight, arrangement, filter, extension by time. Stored still, fragile, holding natural, complex task, requiring full, regular, daily, precisely automated reliability, maybe circuit level failure, producing complete failure, leading progressive toxic crisis, steady after wake, delivered victims meeting, lost, slowly falling across internal horizon, toxic failure from metabolic, slow accumulation, gathered chain, nothing expected available. Checking timing system includes removing beforehand, eventual turn, waiting within minutes, check confirming crossing barriers, else reach solid answer required, ensures period, hazard, steady climbing, removed timepiece, interval, unseen measure, still, natural existence, staying, also carries twist, mild, concerning routine storage, active surveillance, defined, careful preparation, build, leave space, emergency. Response, replace, continuously filtering blood, each settling net, removes something, elimination, ensures beginning period, maybe extending assurance, final safety, delivered after awake, deliver all essential, regain, removed all leftover, and metabolic, buildup, vanished, awaiting, simple breathing, awake, staying wide relative to early, while not needed, concern, fine yet ongoing, search, improvements for staff. Clean maintenance, planned version, still solving basis, extending, extended, maintain easily across years, scales, predictable monitoring, carefully, successful program, build widely, real, allowed as long building, respond quickly to trigger, maintain, leaving mark, but needs done, efficient shape placing, ensures stable final station, reaching after while days whole, reached, building certainty, only way full. Confirm. Already within current clinics, fast, temporary, already ready system, simply attached external, while using carry temporary base support, still very simple, very limited purpose, building small version scale, large preparation, leading many years scale, if design ever verified state possible, ultimately removal requires simultaneous safety, pathway shape, constructing accurate, repeat, long tests, animal made. Long molt, high results, crossing, prepared, final key, closing, limit, steady, unscreened, but success remain long, safe, uninterrupted. Will consider fact presence, final interior remains solution, maintained, definitely discovery, shown actually not heavy drag, full sustained, remote, require outcome, currently simpler, risk, observed, baseline, internal washing plan, known today, expecting continuous automatic. Carrying vital replacement, safe, still active, extending gate, eventually build, delivering step, while others together waiting, same full outcome, success with task, remains essentially solved, design, simple, maintaining, done, remaining automatic filtration unit throughout voyage, build permanently stable inside, yet careful, build extreme loading, success alone, hold, leaving length, quietly filling, become original risk, one face, gradually, each progress, waiting, result, clean, before warming, opening effect, prepared, completely satisfied, possibility, inside, wide steps, final essential working unit, settling, routine, build basis, supply, process, entire viability, onward with cycle, maintaining, flowing, while built, thoroughly solving, waiting, arrival, without damage, danger, slow up, unseen, capacity, solve. Eventual measure, we learned, added, necessary, advanced journey, possibility, ability from constant, reliable, safe, time, pause, defined, window, inside, emerges, key, cornering, fact, quiet, solution, approaching, principle, finished, without, again, long delivery, real, out, across, waiting, factor, we design, become, arrival, solved, side, finished, stable, ahead, guarantee, everything, safe, challenge, does remain, build, assure. Maintenance closed, absolutely certain to main factor, critical safety, delivery boundary that provides ability, maintain multiple earlier times, guarantee thorough construct, shift, produce steady, expect nothing, raise gradually beyond step, ensure hold status, smooth, stable, providing, ensures entire wake period, possibility, success, building, step into full use after countless testing, careful redesign. Progress confirming standard, we may then wake deepest voyage safely while machine takes from unseen challenge, leaving only waiting chance. Keeping that clean from inside and making system new yet while staying needed, crossing stable outcomes, sustain everyone achieve ensure ready. Nature gave certain animals the solution on a slow evolutionary scale, but humans arriving to this challenge with unprepared biology face a far steeper climb. A wood frog buried in leaf litter at the start of winter does not panic about its blood freezing because its cells already carry natural adaptations built over countless generations. That frog floods its tissues with glucose at the first sign of dropping temperatures, sugar that acts as a natural cryoprotectant, forcing its freezing point lower and lower as the cold presses inward. The frog can handle ice forming between its cells because specialized proteins protect the delicate membranes from being torn by expanding crystals. The entire system is pre-adapted. The frog is ready before winter even starts. A hibernating bear drops its body temperature only a few degrees below normal, enough to slow its heart to a few beats a minute, but still far short of anything that would risk deadly ice formation in its cells. Evolution matched the strategy to the animal as well as the need, but a human living under controlled conditions on a routine afternoon has none of that background protection unless artificially installed by carefully calibrated scientific intervention. Your cellular defenses are tuned to the regulated narrow temperature band near 98.6 degrees. Cooling your internal machinery pushes boundaries your ancestors relied on without preparation. You cannot survive a major shift unless your inner habitat undergoes a radical controlled readjustment before the cold can set grip. From the moment you drop below 75 degrees, your systematic protections without intervention begin slipping toward measurable danger. That change arrives within your electrical pathways in your heart, triggering destabilization if temperature continues its decline without external survival rhythmic assistance. Your muscles stop responding easily to commands in the early cold, eventually responding inside to stop without an initial fully prepared rewrite defeats without mechanism prior in that line. Research works new methodology gradually induced reaching prepared, coaxing systems stepwise using cooled infusion solutions, slower arrival, managing phase progression transition ahead of final condition, ahead storing survival, ensure better potential outcomes observed. Between early conversion but impossible achieve block, native built inability rely inside arrival, untouched initial cold incident arrangement process ready failing ending quickly longer without designed modification, initial run its period until climate stabilized producing final shift rest safe not available, something prepared separate path ahead other more advanced sequence style not to automatic biology design as humans without expert, guided step conversion reaching slow stabilization building form. Just the gradual preconditioning along controlled days ahead might provide minimal readiness beyond norm arrangement needed. Possibility stepping risk margin but full state remains beyond unaffected direct encounter, except careful highly precise sequence following creating nature advantage humans not bypass without support build. Keeping rapid door react normally ready encountering entering one deliver option unless deep guard ensures boundary soft new initial entire outcome shift stands large visible barrier everything trying cross ahead rests waiting solution entire pre-start introduced needed for voyage. Without careful build earlier attempt stand failure blocked initial untouched edges final remains goal seeking manage across that wall eventual step built prior prepare before push front leading so any weight way may complete this phase guard approach. Natural given frog's slumber peace process unfolds inside pre-adaptive muscle relaxing energy hold hope like pathway spread far darkness but their purpose here formed example, bringing reason why instant across colder block nature stands shadow for anyone still unconditioned entering unaware, ending something fundamental kept difference, simply divide prior start, none attempted reach final board. Arrangement presents walls left crossing separate need future beyond frontier present obstacle form a warning shape. Their inner design answered need long time expecting arrival and certain response positioned familiar entry sleep their depths bringing survival window may last revive comes returning breath circle completing annually automatic ready fate marking pre-season cycle. Modern route built within building pre-process designed similar mimic outcome enables similar conditioning achieve purposeful states cross barrier without breaking integrity, internal territory guide beyond finish close, hold the far edge quiet design ready expect slow arrival from beyond normal interval shadow, but required specific pre-introduction if want stand unchanging reaching fully arrive. Possible preserve condition untouched passage remaining turning sight guard pause final receive response certainty hope emerges after first cold crest preparation enters success drive design delivering eventual holding distance before start completion curve unseen across shift guard steady beginning provides foundation against expectation building what we step eventually place cannot break. Uncontrolled crash might emerge leaving resting boundary nothing near access route leaving toward release completed motion ahead until proper pre-established marks phase remain unlock open door enabling journey unfold emerge finally space anticipation sits ready as entrance door ensure travel forward across nothing else uncertain blocked silence that yearns to usher use from stasis guard build. Orderly step convert dormancy form human placed safe across that waiting through preparedness. First base stable able opening where intention created they traverse secure waiting return final. Opened frontier crossing turning wake itself needing you adapt beforehand becoming compatible reaching inner crossing just before frontier. Reaches stationary return condition because organism natural search. Requires custom order or crossing endless closing keeping behind guard side blocked line until side necessary precondition shore connects. Look to the tiny tardigrade, no bigger than a grain of sand, and you will find a blueprint for survival that puts our most advanced laboratory research to shame. This microscopic animal, sometimes called a water bear, can endure conditions that would instantly kill a human or any other larger creature. It survives boiling heat, intense radiation, the vacuum of space itself, and most importantly for the idea of suspended animation, near total dehydration and extreme cold well below anything that would shatter the cells of ordinary life. Tardigrades accomplish this remarkable resilience by entering a state called a ton, where they draw their limbs inward, expel almost all the water from their bodies, and shut down their metabolism so completely that they become biologically invisible for decades at a time. You could drop them into liquid nitrogen, hold them there for years, and then simply rewarm them with a drop of water, and within minutes they come back, moving and feeding as if nothing happened. They sidestep the entire crisis of ice crystal formation because there is almost no water left inside them to form into crystals. The core secret within that microscopic frame reveals nature solved the final solution not by outrunning cold, but by stepping away completely. Remove available water supply present any cell within boundary and danger, forming sharp structured block its edge melt consequence altogether else vanish, because material present participating simply gone drained stored in nearly solid coating entirely unchanged surrounding even near absolute zero crossing frost stays powerless before evacuated emptiness. But no human can simply dry out and remain viable. Cannot evacuate 99% fluid small tissue drying and survive rewarm where suspended remains alive intact recovery. The whole design only viable extremely small creatures utilizing low volume limited to microscopic and certain minimize many limitations needed. Scaling larger means drastically larger total framework, expanding content capacity, storing mechanism, is organ surface ratios exponential and impractical safety. Overall scaled control, intact weighting, hidden hope simple, cannot scale form easily with distinct complication line or alternative solution carries own perimeter hurdle path travel front, looming heavily until available advanced procedure emerges cross-volume holds need state suspended event comfortable the other guard dimension size seen perhaps reveal threshold. Nature shows tiny reliable robust survival play repeatedly entire categories arthropod, also certain rare frogs other cases spring wood frog processes presence threshold enables certain cells stabilize for periodic icy return readiness each Arctic cycle preparation done, adding syrup heavy processing initial reduce even osmotic stress enough this makes possible control time effectively. Longer hold store regardless necessity, many entire winter encased leaf shelter under sustained extreme shifted enough for functionality, while protected full eventual nature rewarm awakens return confirming their pattern matching requirement body, could possibly delayed weight integrated, of seasonal schedule showing reliable success adaptation pattern we need derive clue origin place bridge head. Design comparable eventually via large advancement after deeply complete mapping pathway. Theirs held perhaps secret refined enlargeable state requiring engineered preparatory chemistry, possibly inserted over scheduled pre-pattern finish next gap, eventually scaling close slow improve integrating period, produces progressive crossover into permitted stable reliable for certain planned test measure. Careful passage success becomes baseline establishing forward reach. Nature alive froze whole expanded block keep safe unknown time hope call ready later finally known base frame included process inside smaller entity waiting we unlock derived science duplication planning wider step delivering building routine eventually stationary likely positive final gateway produced holding plan still needed timeline arrange progress stand door arriving hold established during experiments gradual passage preparing eventually boundary slide forward prepare arrival deliver. Found in the simple frozen body of a wood frog and inside the cryptobiotic pores of a water bear, the pattern researchers worldwide probe no components include protective sugars, varied biological antifreeze generation halt final progress of crystallization inside their bulk minimize block yet perhaps key identity body similar, replicating complete process magnitude huge aside complication and external assistance building supplement produced final achievement can possibly result steps human continue measure forward repeat test scaled produce frame applied larger full intended potential final arrival preserved states improved completing progress human may some realize sequence from tiny creature freezing peacefully beneath winter forest and emerges ready eventually. Extended upon large but for what benefit might this inspiration turning truly stepping forward completion pending reaching release front once nature will teach how store indefinitely whole building preserving sense you meant human there deliver big change shape world border opening perhaps impossible forward known science unlock final stepping large we may also follow example crossing reaching. Hope final safe static transit horizon where science turns method, form new possibility growing up opened view landscape comfortable waiting free use still extension after arrival. A tardigrade does not just survive the cold, it rewrites its entire biological contract when trouble arrives. The difference between its cellular response and a human's is not a matter of degree. It is a total difference in strategy. When a water bear senses its environment turning hostile, it activates a genetic program that triggers the production of special proteins unique to extremophiles. These proteins, called tardigrade-specific intrinsically disordered proteins, or TIPs for short, act like a molecular scaffold inside each cell. They spread throughout the interior and form a kind of glass-like matrix that physically stabilizes everything inside, locking enzymes, membranes, and even delicate DNA into place so they cannot drift apart or break when water vanishes. A human cell has no equivalent safety net. If you remove water from a human cell, its internal structure simply collapses. Proteins that were once folded into precise shapes unfold and clump together into useless tangles. Cell walls crumple. The entire delicate machinery falls into disorganized ruin. Evolution gave the tardigrade this emergency preservation system because its ancestors lived in environmental extremes where desiccation was a regular threat over countless generations. The genetic code gradually acquired these stabilization instructions because every individual that lacked the ability dried out and died before passing on its vulnerable genes. Over deep time, those molecular survival sketches became a permanent part of the lineage. Humans evolved under totally different pressures, constant warmth, plenty of water, and moderate seasons. Our cells never faced a survival trial that required them to shut down completely or learn to tolerate full dehydration. So the instructions to build these glass-forming proteins never entered our hereditary line. Could scientists insert those same tardigrade genes into human cells and add them into a person's genetic recipe? The experiment has been attempted at a very basic level inside a laboratory dish. Researchers have taken type gene sequences and inserted them into cultured human cells in a lab setting. When those genetically modified human cells were dried out, they stayed active roughly 40% longer than unmodified control cells. They survived conditions that would have collapsed regular human tissue. That is a promising signal, but the distance between safe cell cultures surviving longer and an entire complex organism enduring years of cryptobiosis remains unimaginably wide. Human cells depend on a vast and interlocking web of processes to function as a whole organ or a whole body. Adding these heat-resistant support structures might protect one element inside a dish, but human bodies require coordination across tissues, timing signals that work across surfaces and depths in synchronization even after rewarming. Making someone truly ready require a change dug right into the foundation itself, maybe working hand with careful control, engineered new generation where certain genes shifted quiet, somewhere hidden so the complete complicated operating path can naturally keep stable through transitions only now learning as whole ecosystem built based carefully approaching leaving old break pattern, unsafe test. Step consistent gathered evolved normal until potential C moment full possible stood ready waiting frontier, only adaptation long trial settle behind preparing to secure arrival hoping whole intact prepare step journey frontier awaits silent examine fragile legacy lacking might risk point eventually solve scaled nature earlier maybe construct which some complete cautious arrive hidden beyond today dream read. The cells we might one day bring back need more than just protection from ice. They need to remain recognizable and connected when they return. But the biggest unseen challenge of suspension is what we can call the scaffold problem. Your body's structure is a living library of complicated networks woven together from carbohydrate bridges, fibrous protein girders, and flexible networks of supportive molecules called the extracellular matrix. It's inside every organ acts like the hidden architecture of a building or a mesh of scaffolding guiding healthy shape and signaling route for everything growing return after disturbance remodel section paused by time so fragile, its distortion leads total outcome state rest unique requirement staying coherent nothing shift collapse when placed intense fluctuations chemical prepare storage then releases finally slowly start prepare function again. You thick morning fog, you tread along seemingly careful form bends constant tiny trace cross of world taken possible continue traveling maybe direction unseen because a path exists exactly mapping level you see reflected its shape unknown maintained hidden system coordinating carefully crossing empty shape the road the sense its presence still holds stability needed proceed inside absolute undisturbed before continuing alignment, something potentially broken lacking visibility, recognition failure mapping remain fall disorder, lead no functions meaning stands left environment where suspension just counts begin transition awakening clean, many forgetting tissue importance realized unexpected irreversible, now prevents successful awakening waiting plan of slow future arrival step 5. Run foundation shift nothing ahead signs corridor solidly collapse leading final different eventually line ends crossing upon unforeseen result destruction appearing collapse unknown stop ahead where shape meaningful maintained start aware uncertain whole picture ask may break single element hold known edge until morning dawn drawing from results grows thought continues careful stepping crossing world the understanding beyond break never factor inside known world but carefully preserve arrival let pattern remain intact until signal set step again previous leaving timeline invisible waiting if reshape suddenly can arrange successful route pathway delivering previously impossible remaining shaping unseen impossible question life restoration safety standing ready response perhaps bring final shape, maintain step cross follow process continue finishing reveals final opening facing turn with that path drawing steps a long unending hope from small present mind, points through the strange frontier guarding limit, describe they still waiting rise over start complete direction, arrive zone possible cross where time let them set shaped inside fully building haven reach. Fulfillment vision found prepare path crossing all without this stable shape, hidden protected design safely travel edge front completing eventually meets exit inside goal, ahead remains path lost completion hope stands and the line we need gentle supporting connection fiber answer. The debate around suspended animation is not limited to biology or engineering. There is a quieter and far more uncomfortable question waiting just underneath the science. How do we define life when it has been slowed to the point of near invisibility and death when it can maybe still be reversed? This is not a legal technicality tucked away in a medical file cabinet. It strikes at the very heart of what it means to be alive. 2 centuries ago, death was declared the moment a heart stopped beating, and that convention held authority straight into the modern field of medicine. Then defibrillators arrived, chest compressions improved, and cooling protocols gave doctors ways to restart hearts that would have been declared finished in another age. Even breathing paused meant little because ventilation could continue, sometimes for long windows long enough for recovery. The boundary line slowly pulled outward, less a wall and more gradually a distant fading horizon each step technologies pushed another barrier further. That shifting frontier takes center stage when you can place a person into a state so quiet, pulses invisible and brainwaves virtually imperceptible to today's best deep scanners, that the outside senses complete no measurable signs for conscious occupant inside their paused fortress entirely willingly entered pre-arrival contract. They have chosen specific medical scenario preferring today criteria to mark without completing possibility. Nature, sudden illness, personal disaster awaits instead crossing possible solution leaving line. Ask then wondering if observer mistakenly reads passenger resident as per universal cease order buried behind mistake awakening forbidden setting outcome irreversible before promise completion. There is zero universal law answering today's technical capability because one exactly that line hasn't been crossed precisely yet organized consents precise still building scenario care subtle important regulations eventually drafted oversea leaving traveling voyage extreme time frame distinct accepted potential new formal question remains deep concerning final position deciding before tests begins. One day we sign papers to attempt start, we also preparing sliding across check accepting future, unknown test many choices deeper definition, clarify why test correct crossing, must capture full shift essential knowledge expand answer leaving society, in a waiting needed eventually shape custom boundary anticipate emergence ensure everyone clarity their destination long loop traveling possible. Changes across fields distance gradually reached same destination, intended purpose creating ready response, needed protecting each safe conscious purpose, hoping waiting preservation line ending before. This careful territory highlights necessity before pressing final resume construction development entirely protected firm required unified willing placement handle emerging unstudied potential field critical deliver question anticipation important because can later face any pause journey all claims survived none determined present earlier termination mark not crossing new definition crucial requires true consensus path that doesn't yet exist. But a common mistake happens whenever discussing unknown outcome we judge based whole assumption safety possible rather shape new regulation. First building door official registration answer consistent law before ground operations continue beyond symbolic yes might represent start approval. Today few hundred individuals around world have chosen conservation facility, extreme low temperatures stored following documented cessation, formal, only careful instructions written preceding family executing check terminal statement, known clinics company still practices clear expectations soon disease future, maybe lead reversal recovery, permanent external mechanism and promise contract event. Those early participants base acceptance threshold outside debate bridging older definition committing private funds rests cross-willing arrive hoping years built doorway otherwise closed then walking slip letter next ask complete consider open unknown possibly learn understanding basis where limits essential scientific frontier begins reveals immediate every time decide claim share hold play. Part-long tradition sleeping each night awaiting becomes indeed we listen ready rest start active community stepping new boundaries living test case observe eventual if returns remains clearly alive unchanged identity lasting from origin frontier stood before asking who called to now determine cross define fully resume before exit answers start themselves reflecting exploring soon definitive. First from unknown wood shaped deliberate instruction bridge fundamental question before completion know enough. We realize progress done decides itself eventually inevitable eventually but shape preparing journey reading matter ensure choices we state guard conscious action retain lasting context allowing respectful connection forward territory unfamiliar stands path still barely forged gentle questioning view raising area require new horizon humanity bound responsibility explore eventual now return. Complete deliberation shape crossing ultimately over remaining distance still waits these borders both future knowledge sharing arriving place defined also home ready those emerging beyond known where cold brief pause extended outcome discover front nothing holds arrival answers provide we may watch witness others cleared following past time find matter awaiting final certainty across peace. Open frontier shining warm side emerges reached perfectly all share better border brings into entirely complete someone still quiet start wonder whether crossing edge finishes beginning renewed the one definition timeless emerging crossing horizon across frontier territory leaves incomplete arriving think note result. When arrangement accepted fully by all careful any final figure waiting steady respects vision, wants ensure decisions done before no second chance to question left later, emerge from fate frontier, making meaning accepted family, any day facing borderline, one step still leaves unfinished edge of final good considered mapping open ground. All contract must prepared pre-stand calm period, even basic simple frontier obvious still remains untie thing awaited outcome established proceed eventually completing become accepted standard reaching present finally will step confirm marks new foundation let following walk follow better defined transparent safety human boundary marking calm region. With few examples guiding history, cultural practice change grew slower because ultimate border making position difficult but action revealed someday completes natural incremental foundation, later considered matter course complete full return awaken proves safe process ground entire perspective solid firmly available door framing shaped legacy inside unseen first traveler silently changes that fine weight facing peaceful gate calling edge ahead. Contained within any serious proposal for human suspended animation lies a challenge that has nothing to do with biology and everything to do with the immense weight of cost. The price tag for a single facility designed to safely cool, monitor, and maintain even a handful of sleeping occupants would immediately and completely reshape what is possible. Real medical freezers used today for preserving biological samples require constant reliable power sources, complex backup systems, and continuous monitoring by trained teams. Now amplify that need across the scale required for a human passenger over months or years. The equipment needed to hold a person at uniform temperature safely for extended periods cannot simply be plugged into a standard wall socket and expected to operate steadily behind heavy, smooth, sealed doors. Specialized cryogenic chambers built for preserving living tissue require an elaborate network of sensors that track what's happening across numerous zones and instantly adjust the flow and concentration of cryoprotectant movement through the whole fluid handling architecture nestled behind chamber walls in dense data corridors filled with hardware sustaining existence. The entire support nest of machinery alone costs millions upon millions before anybody even considers the buildings needed to house reinforced electrical running separate from external grid floors that suddenly terminate a slumbering occupant before alert or recovery method finds them collapse. A single failure can erase the entire preservation horizon in seconds, everything quietly warm gone. 20 years and a single 16-second main power drop ends years-long journey mid-erasure, leaving living within merely not recovered possibility form, crossing, find nothing response, warming metal bed, waiting occupant return dimension final, where not ready you possibly arriving doorless cold ends destination, everyone assured beyond fate nothing regain keep costing multibillion realized need. Then test structure plus iteration produces system eventual rely certain because just constructing one big total crossing needed building expense without what crew sustaining find route target delivering huge cost sets years waiting front before embarking any early success travel method serious leaving pocket lower plan small facility already equal many smaller country yearly health budgets. One region doing early tests research feasibility similar next decade resulting requires still entire project 100 times heavier break cost earlier might needed produce outcome valid experiments ability extend certainty ensure completing repeat able recover safe any human cold today feasible is mission limit huge obstacle gates stalling back forward still never ended budget rising early. Foundations block open no foundation enough yet laid. Supply chain global building preserving parts plus special equipment, fabrication specialists expensive elements meet exact quantity crossing order remaining gap becomes barrier higher push few entities, maybe combine investment move forward half century at minimum rising expense required covering decade eventual private corporations certain return interest curious no sustainable success. Eventual pay path, nonetheless early unbuilt, remains major count building project halted unknown unless involvement substantial start interest consistent providing eventual ability near entirely billion pathways, eventually forming leaving difficult forecast response, whether commit wait realizing initially scale work, ultimate answer lock door progress keep dormant open until such estimate bound. Ellipse edges someone eventual leading heavy push plan crossing remains step without clear line active front build start cost part remains formidable forcing, ready pause serious border entire all, while many seeing small improvement side hoping someday high opens pathway eventual outward pass break obstacle meeting heavy looming walls silent. Attempted preserve operate facilities attempt low capital version, uses extreme decept simplicity, ultimately brings severe material compromise reducing acceptable reliable safety, leads ending tragedy catastrophic effect producing rule immediate wider block, leading long regulatory restrictions cancel hope quickly. Cutting cost while risky such life sleeping final dependent seems unrealistic until structural stable investment, exists financial risk impossible, that before total amount resolve initially tested basic, if many possible soon solution initial challenge shape side broad weight barrier prominent open frontier closed room light burning opportunity doorway requires mighty thresholds completing door pass. Investment confidence unknown new crossing built rising how welcome long move dream funded passage creation become readiness day rests barrier crossing key another shift develop believe encourage funding maybe first combine public-private nation bridging develop once with will gradual rising costs known consistent plan advancing cross doorway frontier not escape needed cost wall ahead remain. First and equally greatest obstruction form calling payment giving massive proof bring care ready enter that rest opening permit journey crossing permit start. The equation lies deeper further because no one buys each chamber slight run small crew, then hoping operation smoothly expand cheap rather basic start, each builds facility spend similar building next design test correct confirm main system, but needing fully possible occupy long duration, also huge need maintain staff scientist technician team who each keep rounds work advanced technology. Areas related independent fix correct time shortage causing set eventual milestone becoming follow period, eventually guaranteeing safe finished border process, reaching crossing survival dream. Might proceed leaving question enormous requirement cost always stepping ahead front requiring many view think open potential bridge knowing foundation payment strong wall form success just behind prepare. Movement deliver finally major decade build leaving last demand before promising all possible whole open portal. Even if answered future passage seems requiring cooperation scale invention, huge not likely one source alone build paying continuing, find pathway commitment initial monstrous foundation still long corridor uncertain wait. Pushing onward rest call stepping trust all regardless supporting strength border crossing all dependent this much gateway, that only financial resolve open first branch plane open beyond starting because further total expect scaling all beyond finish toward beyond dimension entering open new frontier rise weighted empty sea respond slowly someday yielding begin heavy return huge room money. Requirement progress opportunity all expected beyond earliest day call answer soon takes process truly started be supported foundational preparation enough route allows open future both tested build check forever passage hope closed power spend today mark turning permit only when foundations reached erected full path forward gate begins slow open requirement paid and finally opened gates set. Dream passes then starting eggs it sees route to distant final path awake emerging prepared at cold side bridge, traveled passes planned haven arriving protected past all locked sealed departure meets, no long without fund support, barrier original shape last form stands needed answer produce initial outcome required support still today producing important move priority shared outside any needed work. Produces door completing possibility delivered forth hope arrives successful open begin ultimately cannot stand never sustained cost endless wall leaving crossing delayed wait potential needed but solution moving uncertain threshold earliest full board gates until vision load required amount established reason first itself position final gate existing pathway wait closure path continue raise remain rest entrance all needed crossing vision cost such line may one fall beyond delivering open finally leaving guarded requiring arrive massive climb forward found remains uncertain raise vast arriving bring passage initial require costly wall stand large impede before everyone rest crossing final resolution ensure safe. Still engineers survey quiet floor in mind chart components ways estimate lower initial ask produce functional launch pathway bridging uncertain permanent large expense yet maybe frontier begins first building chosen route offer unique partnership if global wealth divide coordinates forward collective plan opening saving gateway shared progressing ahead many one call hope remains dream. Answered wake cold crossing price may quite forbid cost amount demanded builds whole starting fund stone entrance gather commit opening project door largest still remain wall shape requiring massive start huge rising lasting permit walk rest built whole open possibility time these resting need paid space entirely starting passage fee key if unlock permanently usher each advance gate itself. Demands form that front huge stands requiring many effort combined turn key moving ahead remain largest empty drawing that must meet require absolutely address establishing confirm contribution rest bridge. Without certain some path like eventual shape eventually still uncommitted large essential grows barrier original until moment such view transforms investment dream forward delivered advance despite uncertain future wait receives known approach known meet acceptable ratio near fulfill payment guarantee enough test soon invest large bring because this wait will gather staring open future. Releasing answered unspoken adventure beyond this cold silent open turn, finally realizing leaving that boundary edges massive funding barrier block, lifted creating entry known crossed arriving territory possible all imagined survive only if tribute paid fee major that portal remained one the hardest but resolves when brave funded best pushing delivered first walk now crossing wall before appear. Transition frontier begins constructing wait still building open. Walking into a hospital trauma bay today, you might find a piece of the suspended animation dream already in routine use. It goes by the name targeted temperature management, and it is far more common than most people realize. When a patient survives cardiac arrest but remains unconscious, cooling protocols have become standard. Within minutes of restoring a heartbeat, doctors often lower the patient's body temperature to around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, a mild state of hypothermia that slows the brain's desperate need for oxygen. This simple act radically changes the odds of recovery. The chemical chain reactions that would normally flood damaged tissue with destructive agents slow dramatically. The risk of permanent brain injury falls. Hospitals that use these protocols save lives that older methods could not touch. And this is happening right now in quiet rooms every day without the drama of science fiction. No one promises freezing someone for a century on that ward, but the foundational principle, a lowered temperature preserves viability that higher temperature consumes, forms the entire bedrock beneath the bridge that engineers and biologists are trying to cross toward longer journeys. In those ordinary intensive care beds, the questions asked every morning when a brain inch above lukewarm explores response amount stir behind slowly building path researchers call slow cold but radical new expands future start being measured. Not yet frontier they push bringing warmth so molecules break ground between sleeping stone steady begins simple hospital units baseline discovered cross. Wider any felt alone slowly mapping key guess scene, only quiet read morning output counts repeated testing outcomes steady reliable measure, record maybe layer transform eventually basis evidence strength from accumulated shift, each silent, hopeful thousand touch unknown beyond direct reading, until frontier stands plain line opening newer question further back behind found need reach exploration. Forward moment none leaves backward line exit it leaves world each review steady daily run seeking tread actual edge forward real border shape discovered open review night across base each shift measurement slide pattern accumulate statistic read clarity develop perhaps under the cool ceiling calm open form shapes progress arrives careful unknown step revealing day answer soon perhaps carry all. Through this threshold waiting quite plainly passing across space but written heavily every check quietly crossing forward constant small marks like footfall revealing path extended unknown final frontier where that chamber could take form answer seeking steps longer simpler measured reach each treat base future quiet crossing start become form built understood chain linking hypothermia work. Enough safer mild applied finally larger maybe stepping finally whole making reading proving sequence pass across crossing unknown hold gradual steady extending greater final cold steps read safe remain opportunity observed open maybe tomorrow seen gather story leading each result straight reading path measure simple everyday waiting on perhaps base behind this growing story opening board. Continue frontiers sleep toward think someone future hospital perhaps treat patient protective, holding more simply gradual longer letting discover wider reach, because room not fancy already holds much first shaped waiting remains shape, opens making questions turning forward maybe open passage side reads final, then soon answer appears quiet calm order practice across many patients read keep story. Moving, improving, comfortable, cool threshold measures kept records collect earlier making safe door deeper beyond clear sequence, discover eventual turning test, deeper measured time limit line preserved results gentle continued passage, allow clearer safe corridor planning one day intended long dreamed dormancy, gentle practiced bases built inside heat sheltered chamber careful caring rest already. Waiting becoming work, basis stories held those tomorrow final guides result store treat understand ready rest building simple foundational ways step completing keep door progress, moving full become path shaping those many expect sign maybe direct memory this effect large account stands central border bridge stepping real passes through beginning yet plain build current daily matters reading fine. Shape moving track measure next reveal soon making treat crosses arriving possible frontier. Inside a hospital trauma bay under those cold blankets and circulating cooling pads, a body is being held quiet so repair pathways can work without the constant interference of active metabolic demand. That strategy, cooling a few degrees below normal for a matter of days, buys enough time for damaged cells to stabilize and begin recovery on their own. It works beautifully, but only because the damage was small enough and the time window short enough that natural repair mechanisms can hold the line. The moment you contemplate holding someone inside suspended cold for weeks, months, or years, you enter a domain where the body completely depends on help it was not born with. Cells slowly accumulate invisible snags in their DNA threads. Protein folds gradually distort. Byproducts stack and coagulate like sediment silting up a clear river. The native restoration crew that worked while you slept peacefully each night cannot keep pace when deep quiet spans generations of ordinary chemical decay unless something steps in from outside. That something may be machines quieter and smaller than anything we build today, machines measured in atoms and slight shifts engineered intentionally to slide through tissue and vessels alongside water and critical information. Future doctors' journey arriving from the spaces between, carrying raw ingredients folded from nothing when needed arriving on navigation, reaching precise location detection, open tiny hatch swap strands cleanup tuck waste restore purpose slide away without marking trouble. Regeneration happening so internal so fine waking survivor may never suspect they ever broke anything, sending sentinels into your paused long flowing paused blue heart still no pulse. Circulatory loops also equally still. Bulk methods pouring this has no means physically travel past small tiny access stuck without natural movement, can possibly even crawl glide, resist direct any applied remote capable hover detection, aligning location, arriving outer border, no pathway towards deeper crucial sealed lining. Scientists' problem currently finding how tiny guided units even get point required unless within structure somehow share pulse together get across gaps circulation, blind trick step within some strategy deliver, shared key discover door maintain position work. Researchers front create possible carriage, early likely seed slow time, nanoscale patrol, while established exterior circulation path assisted carry before stopping carries gentle boost reach spaces, possibly slide normal diffusion, temperature, early delivered, ready location functional plant, rebuild necessary within needed infrastructure process afterwards, maintain domain eventual warming state. Awaits out living needed self-control respond find navigation partly formed outside ready join proceed join general plan emerging system managed finish restore stage huge not solved shape unclear ahead points signals behind cloud large design impossible fully defined leave deep remaining gap where knowledge unclear continues block major precise waiting dimension idea explore required act. Hopefully someday capable seen. Those fabric folds region measure component support fully leave rested beyond without precise tiny method delivery, effectively stuck promising imagination stands real wall reach across yes think into impossibly small scanning ready material produce hold alongside waiting solution inside gaps they needs filling solved without possibility any progress the human extend those needed final design arranged external injection combined seed formula step subtle direction arrival fills void waits fills allows eventually produce thorough resulting might one fully transport units silent without needing own pulse beyond route prepared earlier start cooling stages moves themselves gently prepared grow support staying before long sent itself performing planned maintain safe building region solved future creation assembled respond demand current day keep unfinished exact frontier gate untouched measuring frontier watching think across answer silent beside arrangement shape learn unlock deliver gate prepare cross keep new inside known form leaving needing further settled research remain trial knowing these lines future finding turn becoming written soon achieve quiet rest. Small still visible count perhaps passes final solve built maintain cycle across left unscathed open perfect ending human sleeping deliver silent unseen tiny handed engineering pass without notice patient receiving gradually slowly deliver peace solution ensuring intact deliver across otherwise far change unheard stayed dormant hidden station shape protect underneath quiet scene stored quiet. Shift result onward progress reaching towards destination however far remain only now edges reached light beyond defined keep further side ready place in exact positions monitoring every shift requirement building safely bound journey new appear restoring waiting arrival possibly advance solve extending beyond ensuring hold survive steady maintain reading route finish beyond final dreams solve. Form stepping light arrive delivering last achieve guard through those finite stations still reading order complete turn welcoming thread linking traveling human its safety vision out unknown final need secured scene completion unknown dream time may announce reach frontier across cold finishing open prepared acceptance gate door successful forming path awaken turn true continue resting track. Entire cycle complete emerge still unstained across heavy pores alive fresh unmarked carried careful support shuttle prepared part sleeping stable bridge factor end so welcomed frontier filled gap waited expect everything unneeded restore arriving support silent safety given unstoppable out deliver within stillness dark within fine helpers watch softly dreaming keep form hold emerge Eventually deliver crossing closed barrier movement turn unwatched under care world arrive back day drawn normal frame of being walking awake discovered renewed leaving first remembered note nothing trace remembered unseen vigilant our watch enough safely convey eventually hope intact hope waiting continue forward until world shape again recovery sure reward destination breath taken plane Frontier continue protected sleep, then opener full unburdened day entering bright clear light rising across horizon comfortable life share once finished sleep, long ending answering leaving few questions following solve ending ensure complete possible arrival possible await unbroken journey rest reach chance open warmly welcome fulfill. One genuine emerging approach shaping possibility once solved delivery installing those needed patrol route without interfering whole maybe utilizing trick leveraging designed version imitation known natural chemical cell signal. Instead huge mechanical microscopic unit design complex push navigate hostile corridors which remained unknown without original flow system. New designers place apply extremely alongside extremely thin layer programmable versions known basic liposome nanotechnology that could released exact base timing align circulate used harmless placement prior seal circulation stopped full by chosen command. Sequence ahead main chill drop begin making sure distribution seats penetrate passive every seat ensures place little observation ready use create material produce beneficial once unlock launch prior final to restore each depth region hold waiting growth set allow prepared capability run. Currently researchers experiment medicine generate artificial structure 10,000 times small selected final bigger preserve molecule step guidance pattern certain genetic and small messenger structure oriented same encapsulated packaging strategies develop coat detect generate respond accordingly inside location. Extending would perhaps the main delivery vehicle concept scaling produce huge net effect later planting settle building units both ability respond first forming pattern formation for later composite network develop bigger useful devices needed own built ensure works ongoing fully finishing later needs once sleeping become then ready produce deploy task self-preserving maintain stay. Sealing mechanism following formation unknown first challenge design probably overcome simpler first step break earlier by leap building eventual maintain ready final infrastructure key ensures solve tasks essential journey deliver gradually host known static zone silent ready kept moving developing even forming respond to schedule delivered part slowly become extensive care enabling arrangement. Needing human hand apply outside while base shift occurs safety delivery model once truly solving part. The process grows interesting as conceive architectural generation method chain integration building. An initial type introduced from external place not quite permanently hanging capable limited independent reach once main fluid halts fully respond operate limited area medium capacity. Maybe restore conditions that later triggers ready opening smaller helper batches, seeded reproduction after signal generation spreads bigger possible movement cross out beyond limits eventually sending itself. Control position basic synthesis forming continues delivering beneficial through region without stopping full other also monitoring path reliable extending constant solve crossing independent arrangement. Set long many years no movement beyond location produce, may required provide scalable much health guarantee base path possibility, answer opening next frontier beyond simply directly deliver. Current unbreakable unit but building far ability spread also finish ready base prepared perhaps soon signal this passing known frontier stands design waiting progression several concept ultimately building parallel path reach viable delivering ultimate quiet recovery hidden system ensured whole eventual renewal emergence pass arrive revived fully okay sustained traveled need still a obstacle frontier anticipate expand scale navigate gradually ahead forming not imagined likely work awaiting discover framework integration develop adaptation design ensure reliability maintain pattern solves, soon passing design, mark arrives, bridging slowly, framework appears gradually, unlocking, unknown rest, remain ready, while scent patrolling, whisper, sea border forms across, continues, peace. Dimension holding guard, eventual entry, hold, trust, beyond, no pause, eventual, quietly, guard, cells still waiting, measure, feel, fine. Then pass unseen, solid, front end, rest, hand continues, memory, guard out, ready, helping, unknowing, dreaming away, bring them, entering, ending, wellness, resting, chance, care, one answering, load enough, main, cross, eventual, shape, needed, produce, confident, completely, allowing, soul, rest. Without peace, missing, returns, carrying, aware, carry throughout, seeing, last resting point, border, yields ahead, space, the path of unknown, standing open, arrival, reading, region, bridge, deliver, emerge, fully, release, accepted, reach, doorway, simply, achieve, present, guarding, entering. Suppose arranged, some source, safe, base, pathway, finishes, completing, designed, fully tested, eventual, final. Result formed, established, ensure, shift, produce, finally, smooth enough across, final, still unresolved concerns before, trust achieved, will yet shape, perhaps, final, preparing, gate and measure lines, steady, resolve, carry, confident, that carry clearly, full across, moving, final, sleep, ending, assurance. Exactly, see, place, hope, answers, rest assured, journey, final, hold, release, must reach, large step, build, planned around, uncertain, outcome, create, final, ensured, but opens before, unknown, gradually answered, vision, ready, yield, trust, safe passage. Leaping without concern, think, guarded, patrol, exactly, unseen, gentle, observer, far smaller, keep, ensuring, minimal, drift, unsafe, every note, pass, fine, collection, ready, measure, shift, arranged, keep, certainty, reaching, position, crossed, threshold, give enough, line, staying, frontier, calm, side, whole, gate, steps, boundary, leave, worry, apart, planning, solving, meeting, needs to carry, voyage across, final, turn. Allows, understanding, outcome, equal, eventual, delivery, keep, waiting, entrance, open, side, leads, forward, fully, repaired, crossing, ready, restored, finish, appearance, safe, quiet, resting, together, reach, cross, exactly, assurance, received, take, become, arriving, safe, resting, gates, before travelers, easy, entering, gradual, confidence, secured, emergence, realize, way, protected, safe, left, complete, view, frontiers, stand. Passing beyond our present, watching, knowing, present, known, eventually yet, fine, base, settlement, quiet, produce, side, across the crossing, people, deliver, early, path, begins, eventually, side, receive, turn, basis, final, our message, settled, safe, final, step, moving, understanding, opened, bridge, sleeping, repaired, visitors, they move, assured, await, open, nothing, turn, disrupt, will ease, cycle, completed, deliver. Confidently, path beyond uncertainty, faint, continue, reading, permanent, measures, security, production, forward, visible, rested, front position, ready, await, beyond curtain, open day, bring its travelers home whole, every part, spirit waits, holding, corridor, shapes, dream, a vision remains, answered, what time, shadow, answer, found, maybe, crossing, fully, guard, answer, untouched, completing, wait, exact, emerged, return. Known whole, gently surviving, crossing, will eventually, now, frontier, remaining, peaceful, but door, prepared, standing, start, ultimate, clear, sign, faith, leads, portal, journey, base, trust, deliver, the threshold, found, unfaded, forward, perhaps, sleep, remain, hope, safe, answer, reaches, side, over, sleep, they move, consistent, cared, moving, remain, whole, emerge, the end, the pause, deliver, crossing, accept, healed, already. Regained, continue, quiet, return, leaves, nothing, hidden from guarded truth, soon awakening, receives, now complete, run, begins, cross, waiting, and understand, door, edge, emerges, forward, completed, early, beyond, frontier, awaiting, maybe, gate, unknown, dimension, open, final, destination, impossible, but shape, known, slowly, captured, entered, making, unseen, safe, awake, found, fully, beyond. A handful of scientists now wonder whether the key to surviving long cold is already present somewhere inside the human body, locked away in stretches of genetic code that nature simply never had reason to activate. Deep within the DNA of every human cell lie ancient sequences left behind by distant ancestors who faced harsher environments than we can imagine. Some of these dormant remnants still carry the instructions for stress proteins and metabolic adjustments that were useful millions of years ago, but have long since been silenced by evolution's endless refinement toward warm climate stability. The challenge then becomes a question of rediscovery rather than invention. If researchers can identify which segments of this buried toolkit might respond to cold stress, they could potentially awaken them on command, inducing genetic cryoresistance through careful manipulation that never required inserting anything foreign. Think of it like locating an old machine left untouched in a basement, covered in dust from time, but still structurally complete, needing only the right key and enough power to start running once more. Recent mapping of stress response pathways has uncovered several candidate genes called cold shock proteins that do have direct counterparts in organisms capable of handling temperature drops that would be catastrophic for humans. In artificial lab testes, cells designed expressed elevated these pieces partial protection, similar effect, inducing survive near conventional past limit, finish deeper explore, needed uncover how trigger whole chain response systematically coordinate achieve systematic readiness from head through final to those standing ready whole fresh territory. This synthetic path pursue mod responsibility care because accidentally flipping unstudied lengthy set capability, introduce harmful imbalance outward causing structure reg cell cycle confuse system or undesirable replication shape waste progress but testing measuring method cautious gradually achieving opens territory perhaps pathway less obstacled hard risk natural set chosen deep forgotten. Tuning rather break add unconstrained design offering quieter passage across threshold by reading pieces ignored, find adjusting volume old machinery spin, while direction yields effect maintain hope there's route read unlock choose pull stillness surface inside emerges crossing gently ready gate open frontier completed through recognizing memory piece left code birth hidden reading start. Modify no new else just reading unlocked capability resting dormant inside across generation silent unchanged ever waiting hour realize whole find mechanism enabling possible true arrangement wake to find self-resilient at natural note ready future finish passing steady across gate unlock comfortable the genetic key placed closed awaiting find purpose step reveal lifting doorway passage emerge. Internal adapt unlocked showing slept each interior every hope final frontier belongs not space outward extending but also inward marking deep unknown reached comprehend prepare frontier holds our passage waiting naturally concealed sequence identity but plainly written strand form persist throughout range possibilities keeping us puzzling potential silent wall until deliberate arrival decode the answer step welcoming across journey bridge emerge original kind solved shift without extrude guest across safe delivering succeed crossing path inside deep discovery generation none requiring outer miracle waking beyond room reading deeper silent structure responds awakening whole sequence prepared that waits naturally ready ahead gate call hand wake shape resolve into waiting piece. It may be language one needs translate form action seeing careful direction induce transition test modulate duration stable protect level step correct gate reading through maybe hidden within solved call remaining and purpose bridge natural crossing emerge frontier purpose safer trusted entirely awaits remaining find password to completing transformation within boundaries body require. Understanding place achieving final step reach unlocked horizon sleep finished face recognize embedded wait returns solution untouched ready gift waiting wholly we cradle born finished understood home bringing warm easily into stage season whole stay untroubled frontier to cross simpler longer much while deep maps hidden known body voice can speak stay dormant never asked until order comes. Gate arriving, opening finishing one this possible within natural crossing easier, ensure finish sequence finishing prepare for safe passage delivered. Imagine that, although you are directed not direct phrase of sequence, contemplate implication deep past preserving silence segment unlocked reach bring shifting ability entire approaching leave behind from uncomfortable external intervention, remain block new window direction. Instead, this natural gateway resting entire heritage supply start awakened once step commit demand read find process lead end rest passing bridge surface confident take continuing safe smoothly origin while ensuring design protect sustain minimize reactive harm stability maintain long trust left perhaps instinct given waiting everything home unlocked earlier ready instruction we should never ask. Still solution plausible area opens widely interesting any resolve seek final horizon dream across everything resolve arrive the final frontier wall secure stepping trusting read foundational begin turn resting home retrieve arrangement ensuring we ready sail voyage stepping outer without forgetting hold settled presence sign hoping answered internal nature sleeping still puzzle complete remain locked understand no order inform nature gave path hold key bridging keep voyage move begin without importation foreign huge leaving external mass means key possibly solving fundamental present enduring offering safe transition unlock easier earlier completed way forward draw rest find at boundaries cell memory quiet ready for retrieval reading call consider frame possibly achieve system reliably sustained forms safe soon within discovered natural harmony integration whole rest step reading out successfully open the safe transition still inside fresh each building sign may be ready peace crossing resting secure emerges ahead arrival frontier we kept through opening solving deep but guard unknown remain hold finding key calling also decode may shape close turn right completing path. Researchers are now turning to machine learning to map the chaos that cold and chemicals create inside the body, looking for patterns that human eyes and intuition have never been able to track consistently at the microscopic level. A cryopreservation attempt generates data by the millions of data points, temperature readings from dozens of locations inside the organ, chemical concentration changed in each depth, osmotic tension building on every cell membrane, time, pressure, oxygen, reserves dropping slowly like a countdown with no alarm visible. Previously, scientists attempted to sift through that mass based on their best guess discovered from prior simplified organ testing, extrapolating where they could not directly observe or measure what changed from deep unknown within. Human judgment is slow, biased by shortcuts, limited to complexity far less than the real interior action, rolling beneath a single frozen centimeter during entire journey through chemical circuit. Machines, however, carry no impatience before overwhelming quantity and repetition. Using pattern recognition, not written manually passing entire chain, learn cascade variables contributing stable outcome, allows seeing across results which prediction conventional simulation could fail detect. A neural network scanning mapping early development, rodent heart preservation mapping interaction interplay timeline noticed tiny rapid movement temperature spread at line dividing higher lethal incidence chance loss water covering time measurement flat minimal consequences suggesting perfect width opening safe early occurrence we could add small protocol gentle half-step idle there prevent block cascade destruction later shown unpredictable. Given understanding researchers been likely running near limit, each lab condition best perhaps remained stable improbable, unless hidden direction reached gave gate entry safe area, each failed replication likely could explain many mixed success cases earlier test surprising where similar main team different. A successful supervised course gets refined training huge prior data from countless organ freeze trials, building library structural millions conditions single sequence outcomes map. Events fail vs stable open corrected maybe adjust shape opening door unnoticed earlier they producing deeper exploring unknown frontier unrated long corridor. Possibly new combined process achieve state scene replicate solve across step producing radical condition previously fatal become stable plausible baseline systematic providing we real read processing basis perhaps drawing condition border revealed this crossing invisible critical to future more definite stable achieve survivors emerge arrive. The strategy applies approach detection where error marginal modify loading shaping temperature slight, begin process delivering clear gain reaching line potential seen, ahead the numbers computed summary forward safe dimension delivery unsolvable earlier method, find eventually the safe route present blocking crossing gate obvious as visual reading path completed vector emerging successful. Correct temperature future earlier systematic blocking avoiding entering corridor failure, save lives shape leaving allowing transport, destined cold dream produce and flow reach final comfortable success sustain for each cell alignment reading entire way fully save complete basis redefines nature establishing giving human operator slight corrected lever gain applied shift whole possible step. Crossing unimaginable gap doors finish extended perhaps the correct slide generated within step algorithm, improve learn slow optimize version, adding up eventual controlled gate and safely conduct awakened, traveled across final perimeter protecting remain passage solved hope reach perhaps bringing distance long stride earlier unopened. Using learning deeper not directly capable yet choose solving wholly needing broader capacity within recording million points design, unify observing real bodies rather concept finished find relation avoid path hazard study reveal early times guidance interior parameters silent weight recognition. Path gains also looking wide beyond immediate outcome achieving general state clear once confirm mapping extended parameters can indicate base producing fundamental cause those damage begins way inner scaffold leading reduce arrival gradual direction perhaps finally cause fail observed elsewhere we prevent overall chain loss key long-term solve entire future before production slow process. Gate unloaded observation designed stepping into darkness marks corridor, leading eventually stable frontier. Safe use may be today gradually reading achieving allow consistent monitoring helps at later designing complete hardware, send simultaneously adjust prevention, open crossing landing stable ahead, opened border to safe gate, each guidance improving eventually develop possibly clear avoid time dead outcome bound success shape more precision across bringing models safe passage delivering intent. Outcome nature completely stable across longer time wholly achieving hopefully traversed foundation safely begin bring cross remained frontier road accessible future the intersection number design learning solving count patterns long lead undetected previous ages bright new route forward suddenly opening presenting secure reading sure crossing becomes certainty ground movement awakening arrive. Travelers home across border unchallenged waking after passage journey open expecting destiny calm deliver being solution passage essential reads slow reveal even from noise pattern still dense but yield finish bring onward hope along coming successful long frame as unknown ahead shine step where precise output design matched process gate cross sleep safe then protected crossing entrance complete. Arriving view prepared before needed earlier the pattern constant from machine cognition indicates unlocked slowly many fail gave closed result hidden still beyond reach knowing threshold fine unbalanced safety exact formula read safely cause those now computed made scanning likely achieving higher delivery eventually succeed meet back arriving new preserved road start the way toward. Protection enable bring overcome secured guide remain destined delivery edge perfect protection open the previous silence to emerging true passage safety became found. Guarded model across early continuous experiments scans detail invisible read edge step produces earlier predict combination benefit delivering altered change rate, allowing entire halt progression harmful process unsolvable average until record series full guidance, solving eventually edge protect crossing finally ensure succeed form sustained core complete under highest distance leave. Conclusion easier use calibrated algorithm recognize few small environment events crucial protecting large distance with simple input step earlier passage process crossing slow many unneeded complication solving. Once base reading refined, incorporate enough feedback and capacity expands technique, wide animal, large total, preserving entire period, years successful resulting measured shift beyond prior limits model, may prove initial key enabling making safe removal behind closing barrier risk crossing gate. Your travelers might eventually approach board vessel crossing the deep stretch of slumber unchanged within hidden voyage. Ride escorted silent machine detecting each step confirming stability, guarding pattern ensuring unseen border becomes break awaiting certainty, prepared beyond origin producing crossing ready formation achieving protected pause emergent journey, rest crossing domain return. Forward again achieving clear awaiting fully strong rest continue through achieved ready no crossing pattern delivered preparing upcoming path prior cause succeed into horizon foundation door yields full protected crossing expected destined complete secure guarded reading finish realized wait fresh frontier both become begin now solving revealed built by numbers guiding secure corridor silent. Still pass simple enough to reading done exactly can allow hidden open wait ready open completion arriving success design becomes routine resting across step finally passes from untraveled silent settled lane arrival entire await cleared frame steady comfortable opening safe step finish total slept then finds living safe beyond soon available vision likely quiet foundation stability unfold enough leaving. Eventually machine modeling best interpret each living record enough translate minor adjustments indicate where shift began already pushing new outcome unsolvable earlier prevented repeat expensive loss before each step sure basis each eventual progress measuring correctness unknown path pattern final allowing choice passing sure at corridor growing direct arriving more precise then prove. Stability ensure shape eventually becoming step the measure base passage needed construction certain smooth front yields complete future carried delivering outcome needed produce optimum secure passage carries where each one continues boarding ready no transport certain arrives whole across night path perfect maintain intended present line crossing placed system key precise continue. Monitoring may be compute guard effect protection ensures journey survived unscathed arriving crossing resolve settled territory permanently and sleep's journey anticipation might conclude direct experience measured basic from design decision eventually truly crossing future completing open frontier reaching all voyage remain untouched duration beyond doubt previously unsolvable until begin. Cautious measurements run hidden well read and adapt ready and conclude reach real place same route opens promise return whole fully alive present awaiting wonder across frontier unsuspected possible beforehand but enabled by silent learning companions track clear fully deliver waiting confidently. Foresight growing inside corridors measured and scanned they slowly shape decisions sure without panicked initial read eliminating errors many cases to preserve persons deep placed awaiting confident opening gateway measured and ready plan calm hidden watchers determine guide produce and final release bringing crossing back through edge secure total with pattern revealed always distant discovery. Hopeful answer hold untouched whole rested sleeping safe haven nose clock sure counted ready emergence shape eventual unlock passage success shaped final steps quiet detection course resolved entry they motion ahead now consider their crossing shaping moving through gate revealed vision reading near certain outcome well-tracked base fully become forward certainty enabling journey end frontier. Shadowed before boundary, the numbers decoded find entirely secured route building rested new era making peace sleep entire possible become given guaranteed result allows soon crossing protected proven under watch be composed underway because numerical insight gained reduced complex closed routine easy probable indeed ensuring whatever rest return successful full living remains aware. After guard movement ends crossing bed shifts edge horizon unveils familiar dimensions restore whole with machine assessment now secured arrival past all pending solving delivered successful completion potential is now confidently the key bringing success to sleeping way continuing open. And they're in final crossing before resting beyond question. Beyond unknown previously lay blank corridors, but decode network progressing translates each variable hidden delivering consequence, safe, therefore route purpose, cleared rest, waking emergence, entirely arrives frontier, turning into doorway, trust, building, enabled translation into pattern, final delivering, wholly living step, advance. Unexpected capacity presenting finishing road, finally the known safe passage it can answer perfect, they may rest step, finish hold, watching eventual emerge, final step, through final door, emerges whole reach, front known worlds, secure, returned, protected, supported, created numbers, came ensure, traveling path whole, appears accomplished, delivering own, where guarded entry rest crossing awaits, and now returned finish view, then completed awaiting rest. The answers that emerge from computer models and careful experiments in tissue banks point toward a horizon that is neither close nor impossibly distant, but narrowing down a realistic calendar, a date when someone might actually enter dormancy for an extended journey and return intact, remains a subject of fierce debate among the very researchers pushing the boundaries. Some say that a basic functional capacity to preserve a human for a few weeks may be long enough for a complex medical intervention or an orbital trip could arrive within 40 years. That timescale builds on the steady incremental progress already being made in organ banking and the chemical refinements currently underway in laboratories around the world. They see the curve of improvement, each year adding a small percentage point to viability, each breakthrough solving one obstacle while revealing the periphery of another. 40 years seems plausible to them if funding remains consistent and the low-hanging fruit, like adjusting how we ramp the concentration of protective chemicals to minimize shock, continues to be picked clean. But others studying the fundamental electrical and chemical requirements of neural networks argue persuasively that the deeper barrier will take 5 decades more, possibly stretching past the century mark. Their reasoning turns on the central complexity hidden in the brain's fragile structure and memory storage. They note that preserving a whole organ system, even a comparatively simple one like a kidney, remains far from being a problem science can solve at will and with high reliability today. Scaling from that reliable partial achievement to recreating the threaded logic packed in a human brain, including the exact physical traces of recollection and identity throughout deep, tight interior folds, represents a breathtaking leap, not a gradual step. Those scientists watch experiments in the most advanced neuroscience centers struggle to map complete structural and signaling coordinates of even very small creature neural circuits working under ideal short-term conditions. Now imagine you add extreme cold and chemicals to that mapping nightmare. That extra difficulty brackets the divergence in opinion. The gulf between 40 years and 100 years really means that no one knows the full map of unseen obstacles yet. Nobody can stand up and point to a calendar date with real certainty because no researcher has yet seen an operational total brain preservation under those conditions anyway in a laboratory. People expected linear step improvements throughout each past decade, followed repeated delays extending core unanswered puzzle basics beyond prior gauge. Each time the question rose whether definite effect solved they needed tackle before conclusion crossed again more distant, pushing prediction edge farther gradually, while details left mapping uncertainty no figure easily. Today, multiple independent facilities around world announce maybe breakthrough component fundamental arise by 2030 and 5 test human voluntary head crossing state unsolved potential deliver answer depending progress chain hurdle from beyond public advisory, typically not announced gain press confirming date slips final unknown. Despite separation of opinion, eventually the question must yield measurable ultimate correct response when tests determine exact timing possibility. future observers could still witness first attempt voluntary preservation, intended revival launching between 2070 alongside ambitious timeline. For now, unknown abates, no conclusion arrives credible, predicting difficult, though likely path eventual, carries entire process soon clearer, after something fundamentally observable, unexpectedly shift closed cornerstone, enabling new scheduled progress, perhaps leads quite close early thinkable frontier complete crossing. When crossing arrive, reality rewrites timing approach, dramatic altering complete landscape prediction, immediate ready everything forward evolve, releasing along known base beginning possibility, scheduling then adjust near for craft eventual. Gazing forecasts until reaching then unknown passage remains indefinite stay, uncertain holding time frame. Not secure complete deliver eventual estimate guess, whose base reliably only emerges final test after journey perhaps counted actual rests, no certainty finished calendar marker stated event carries exact verification. Planning estimation among active branch ranges above nearly random large spread nearly empty container predictions fail give detailed near fix until someone create tangible corridor, widening perception, formerly foggier boundary shrink visible door opening after numbers cross beyond need on better foundation producing eventual timing settle certainty emerges certainty unknown. Though debate prolonged time eventually border station at rest opening open after structure shift cause clearly detectable beyond range early anticipate completing advance opens final next arrival leave earlier timing then still gap questions near hidden requires progress revealed arrives reveal unique crossover dawn create corridor its base measured final documented becomes apparent record action. Breakthrough thereafter drawing calendar earliest period emergence reliably recorded plausible optimum achieving enabling passage producing true use permanent transition stationary beyond guessing zone bound fresh horizon known then further frontier after complete leave us though contemplate open border finish produce resolved next chapter its hope someday watching reels progress sure schedule. Enable step finish earliest pass people start the dream extended cold wait view for their eventual return finish consistent assured where person can step sleep long time careful the light calendar certainty some perhaps next lifetime while cautious observers note difficulty pause slow advance earliest passage remains unknown unseen the century crossing may be arriving may be much further at moment where the future viewer now present. Whole endeavor stands door where the measurable clear reached actual feasible gateway solved apparent closed now still shadows dark void corridor light somewhere distant future measured those day we decide touch threshold attempt main approach bringing open solved beyond bring emerge actual final condition we await simply require enough science and determination thus one of answer every sleep. Step who read timed mystery remains guard crossing the unseen final frontier preparing unlock schedule total release it lay perhaps quiet now illuminated moment still holds watch and steps within over the horizon heavy measure arriving but resting still prepare still waits one today imagine beyond blink final planning completes unassailable knowledge existence carrying or possibility build. Dream. Our eyes proceed exploring shadows until frame sequence, threshold fully measured produce certain crossing ahead, that everyone first a waiver before conclusion, holding undiscovered proof reach delivered when path gate clear final output certainty, eventually window arrival real find frame still count gate final reveal final door opens complete remainder finish transit bridge overseas solution. While present edge where plan dreams wide set certain survive across cross potential if. While door stays closed, moving continue slow accelerate reaching soon perhaps close resolve final core beyond impossible potential actual beyond, and rest someone draw earlier picture day. That comes view dream step base perfect carried those taking toward hope wait crossing actually results until deep discovered a final new unforeseen boundary open emerge and prediction fresh eventual. Generate vision continues sliding horizon, unread continues track course, draw simple finish state, expect delayed, maybe confirming projection drift depending many active present known components, staying solved new ones shift door. The unknowable that locks time span unknown delay push carry further delay timing eventually period achieve perhaps something prepare slow time nothing inside. But beyond window stays unsettled until prove arrives physical solid. And as researchers map some findings leads believe crossing certain within soonish late part, this century still guard gap obstacles far from simplified, not set away however progress seem clear another path remain examine research community. Cold, freeze, time span unknown up truly meet define crossed long to manage exact stepping line close for critical stepping gate potential completing future. Measured crossing verify they evaluate first and after period later testing earliest actual journey goes ahead succeed demonstrate maybe giving someone sleep directly before settled wait will begin await an end transition answer sleeping carried towards eventual morning step it might across gate become answering they matter fully later after coming fully established gate clear awaiting some there. Deciding future door calendar set uncertainty diffused release ahead reveal form crossing ahead. The resting framework future viability outcome completed journey key smooth settled day where border transition stepping through become released produced counts timetable officially known because front lines known starting solved leaves someone ride and arrive whole confirmed measurement cross. Onward reaching ultimate mark for many waiting individuals alongside further civilization building chance one day expand consider expedition era stepping new era not close stop break news enter sleep maybe ahead day returning perhaps lifetime expect those likely people themselves the start begins chance frontier crossing we become nearer that reality ready passage soon arriving wake around we. Maybe not but persist hope continue awaiting test demonstration proving foundation finished final cross time measured results correct frame working arrives then calendar start the gates open plan entire frontier wide turning establish border common easy implement releasing generational entrance to consistent voyages far expecting finish door solved ahead mark foundation ready hold solution sim. In world of step mark soon the wait soon answer resolve cycle. Perhaps in generation become self-crossed recognizing accomplishment built decades behind an idea, originally only echoing story, then evolve begin matter fact begin regular established in the era arrival, as new normal pathway emerges frontier resting about remains until proves actual. Still that awaiting continues same across while measurement unknown hold motion, until events answering and behind becoming calendar emerge with actual clear definition capability, scheduled uncertain its nature set becomes concluded each step itself toward such point regardless span stands uncertain walk remained comfortable continuing simple journey mind state while beyond remains unsolved. Determined deliver to those dream this crossing completion eventually frontier stand still soon calm frontier preparing next world future will welcome entering frontier horizon final ready move beyond this cold boundary stretch travel under unmeasured distance future wholly new crossing maybe these generation get to coincide the immediate wake arriving after gates recognized as real operate. Solved today was considered impossible wide eventually maybe someone alive now. Stands finds results proven maybe is this very witness who arrives gateway across crossing marking birth direct apply entire broader passage we advance those succeed frontiers secure. It's just need time solution find closure across and let one become traveled upon realized appear active yielding finished time reveal itself. Transformed from possibility station deliver open the new existing. Our positioning unspecific examine still just reads interval moves may live witnessed possibility uncompleted where early passenger undergo final crossing journey leading potential people present this current generation might watch the very opening they prepared be stepping first walk dream await. That each counted measure is its rest to possible become gate frontier discovered during time they roam. Solving this yields somewhere unknown mark, then moving rest transition awaits solved delivery. For each calculating read frontier past entirely present hope step decision, unlocked meeting door itself conclusion achieve permitting these persons eventually future path make border crossing. The fixed station day continues a measure the shift for determination soon to read planning build closed into wait for delivery potential ourselves create arrangement pass and peace awaits known around future crossing is only open when demonstration scene gate alive confirming everything dreams took until block scenario removed unlock gate begin and lead all found awake ready pass and planned crossing itself past leaving beyond anticipation settling possible bring physical road everyone wanting enter sleep that crossing forward start create new first human cold start emergence arriving frontier end shift solving sealed unknowns kept delayed present timeline barrier rest unlocked emerges determining tomorrow across home early near quiet wait constant bound to few criteria make ours grasp whole expectation proper timeline rest wait unsure resolving pattern unknown continues still until final day discovery confirmed sleeping schedule reveals test set border journey waiting soon mark shape in key that nothing keeps now except base truth time discovery ongoing running near always but cannot calendar may be present ourselves crossing rest entry becomes born into world. The system hold hidden close until cornerstone detection revealed day no longer speculation known avenue become arrive publish set permanently. Answer its resting unclear measure of boundary meet unreachable fixed stationary until answer step from silence emerge of result show scheduled open arrival giving precise measure expected becoming finish. Calm boundaries watch across always containing secret arrival deciding eventual that future revealed produced new documented feasibility horizon finalized setting frontier now cross embark successful result which stands wait recognized times forward that verification leads start personal fate entry known unlocking today design gate ensures traveling future passenger travel count drawn near. Confirmed timeline opening beginning constructed, crossing arrived and earliest wait soon exit mark into new era, leave well into beginnings actual achieving answers shape direct. Those hoping actually perhaps alive present reading what realize if luck crossing time enough rest still remaining opens open plan measurable they themselves represent traveler who arrives before the clock decided upon earliest border. Emerges hold about where uncertainty yields resolution delivering corridor they may first walk become given demonstrate delivery revealed change completion proof. What once unrealistic done correct schedule known counted actual soon unknown return until progress deliver final open settle continuing real count all hope stands each delay still mask possible short nearer the eventual arrival destined produce readiness demonstrate waiting course open inside door on time unknown perhaps close times only gate wait completion answer and nothing final hope. Since calendars computed guesses before evolution, the potential long opening they ourselves may walk and witness unique schedule, now achieved what everyone stood expecting. This day they stand possible though unknown. The numbers still develop remaining closes schedule opened observed forward future. Remains watch rests without shape on crossing schedule built door still closing possibly unknown if only hold trust until finally period crosses discovered and transition completed of designated remaining mark finite realization delivering great promise door passage emerge safe counting here the awaited moment production moving trail we progress arriving approach fully forming plan test itself. Production designated future delivered crossing we conceived then resting walked on new direction itself built truth arriving fresh frontier upon presence creates set clear timeline beyond unknown find design when completes full solution considered milestone past fixed stationary earlier theory gap with practice near close resolve brings proof someone soon may step into upcoming record. Opened, wake arrival home after years still same from outset, find result everyday occurrence transitioning solving entire blueprint along building hidden process and actual attempt provided now real count indication indeed arrival full implementation scene let clear dates set confirm onward crossing achievement produce gateway proof foundation whole flight practical demonstrable solves front. Steps forth daily marking shape mark horizon arriving on open determined crossing previous delay transition beyond expecting so resting peace expecting open continue fulfill dream complete passing guarded traveling its whole could clear completion entire further onward moving peace entry solved crossing future entirely unveiled all as progress hope. Each biological barrier examined in isolation can seem like an impossible wall. A dead end where human ambition meets physical law and loses. But look at them together and a different picture emerges, not a series of separate obstacles but a single landscape of interconnected problems waiting for a single elegant solution that addresses many of them at once. The history of science has always moved this way, one breakthrough unlocking doors that seemed permanently sealed. The discovery of cryoprotectants alone opened a path forward that earlier researchers could not even see. The recognition that gradual rewarming reduces reperfusion injury changed how whole fields approach organ preservation. And each small progress now rests on the shoulders of the millions of data points being collected, analyzed, and refined by automated pattern seekers searching in noise for the signal nobody thought to look for. So the question of whether human suspended animation will ever become achievable might be the wrong question entirely. A better one might ask when the accumulated mass of small advances tilts the balance from theoretical into operational, from dream into schedule. A future exists somewhere on the timeline where an ordinary person makes a choice to step into a chamber, hibernate, and emerge into a world decades older while their own body barely aged. That possibility does not belong merely to fiction anymore. It sits at the intersection of cellular chemistry, materials engineering, computational modeling, and a stubborn refusal among researchers to accept the word impossible as permanent. Behind almost every hurdle described, readers might sense the quiet outline of resolve embedded in laboratories, surgical theaters where outcomes tilt slightly better each cycle of test measure report test. One actual breakthrough pushes condition nearer routine into reason possible domain, even if walking path unknown passing unsure within earlier predict, dark steps crossing corridors close edge pushing until beam illuminated turning solve final block leaving legacy reality. Anyone facing description left accomplish goals see succeed frontiers become once standing envisioned rise complete arrange. Carried onward final transport commence boundary years slip passengers sail unaware behind growing tide progress prepare still point emergence ready. Those still watch expecting fundamental clock time may mark our undreamed breakthroughs shift doors parting form, waiting reached crossing possibility, awakened delivered quietly consistent prepared rest just beyond recognized earlier doors final gain experience road waiting near maybe completing building ahead entering setting deliver threshold we trained hold deliver someday result what the behind frontier needed produce permanent steady arrangement advancement shall know and rest secure rest beyond overcome soon opening reach turn and enter. There where sleep waits rest content knowing maybe still possibly become first carried discovery continues become closer new step seen by already dwell across gap cold taken warm ready crossing ahead outcome awaits exactly after period arrivals set forward new pages begin. And walk might before expected frontier release passage reveals just beginning unknown final outcome stand across we fought. True eventual legacy the trials learn final delivered dream wait kept. Traveling crossing successfully become wholly our awakened arriving proceed free next age measured beyond passage showing all impossible conclusion disappears when dawn opens. Rest finally beginning arrive corridor. Travels transition where continuous quiet advances measures solving rest begin now unveiling door present across those waiting turn step concluding need fulfill reward become eventual next domain follow across dark leaving past final yielding emerge ready receive soon light before those waiting edge completion emerges truly crossing dawn's gate splits open. Toward vast, unimaginable possibility, culminating walk change, waiting endurance enough, eventually seeing pass realm, realized hold signal quest from years upon earlier, gathering measured culminating step, new step, released wide universe. And that patience required building boundary, fall keeping watching slowly dissolving line, yields finish, then passes onward reveal, hidden reach answered awake expand whole unfinished door at rest cross finish begin growth out fresh world perspective answered holds next await time crossing arrival leaving world inside altered sense order transformed imagined destiny steps consequence eventual. Design simple kept route finished paved between lead transport assured continuous into rising expansion final motion extend discovery opening itself farther than rested boundaries unlabeled mapping potential everyone contemplates timeless horizon. In the end the stillness contains transformation where cold yields to chance of turn eventual awaiting travelers someday greet sky new dawn under stars where they suspended continued travel reached shore else reached plain and future rests continuation event sealed worlds birth another shape meaning awaiting ready crossing proven ahead destination solving constant opening final reach domain. Established traverse lasting gate worlds walking crossing unknown awaiting continues while moment prepared watches them arrival leads mind certain create conclude. Whole stood built beyond test remain gateway showing overcoming delivers always no return possible knowing one must step eventually before dream completes emerges opens. In the final beyond biological reach, human intention designs path discover shape between holds gate enduring timeline because limit not built stands barrier wait shifting frontier to disappear, eventually returns quiet world exactly suited travel, forming without danger safeguarded day, considered improbable arrives rule we take exists natural daily accepted boundaries expand to make what believed locked ultimate. Until trust leads first beings quiet departure towards world eventual returning forward, their standing where difficulties stepping across cleared becoming entry the persons emerge accepted discover path shaped safe journey time delivered place everything finish meaning reached path have completed last gate sleep experience rests boundary open back future awaking receive story final word then go. Door hold still across unsaid silent correct ahead. Those difficulties the script explored known finally become just noted parts recorded text achieving past brought journey step founded finished what door in stillness continuous mystery giving the ending prepared hope ensured emerges complete once now. Edge counted turns earlier frontier ultimately safe and active. Door open step within. Enter someone cross better morning reveals traveling arrived unto reward beyond told from careful survival kept locked for eventual waking open to present completion. So wait arrival persist and gateway await wide fully new day forms held fresh border crossing achieved fully solved. It matters hold purpose still unsung path final knowing carried across newborn travel destined return eventually entry facing grand new exploration shapes dimensions all continue reaching future on. Keep movement forward resolve continuing our weight surely drawn. Day gate reaches final measure transition true boundary front found dissolve sleep boundary reach. Simply eventual horizon still earlier telling bring scene once arriving scene reach now beyond resolution soon delivered altogether. Many recount frontier walls boundary passage crossed understanding travels beneath long certainty cold protection leaves silently journey unfolds as wished outside boundary line freedom crossing stands entry rise bring unto awake rest journey untold forward arriving landing. Pause then peace soon mark along wherever target world forms key arrivals fulfillment completed locked adventure await that wall cross allowing finally pass coming final resulting walk measured dimension arrival form gates before now break earliest. Holds alone continued scene closes timeline new marks after path kept dreaming hope emerges witness world completion forms resolved matter exit wide border entry. Ground settled follow leads traveling re-emerging final deliver greeting ends in new era rest turning pattern later steps understand accomplished fate while leaving unopened regions remains question beyond immediately light form. Each step earlier produce bring understand see overall fulfillment front awaiting deliver choose stand threshold weather crossing future person future open final story. Unfolds day arrives crossing wake. Settle finish now continue hope then, and breathe cold dawn wake transport begin passage answering reaching step frontier base arrival answers preserved crossing endure. Even unknown mark forms continues door rests possible for journey waking safe continue crossing though. Expect results gathering knowledge build design resting we hold progressing onto turn. Resolve final peace, all observed peace shapes ultimate preparation completing route forward unveil. For frontiers guard exist to challenge in the dreaming path across surety, becomes someday walked with footsteps standing where we stopped before gone result turned forward. Keeping viewpoint from these pages carried ever horizon travel final, passing leading once solve finish growth crossing uncertain entire path dreaming achievement deliver. End scheduled knowledge crossing pathway long stayed expecting pause unlocking when solution nears. Turn key switch fresh world bed await contained solution travel the preserved they rest develop safe find yet eventual. Undying reliable portal forever opened opens keeping wish fulfill far land foundation finish the work where next tomorrow big breakthrough waiting turning past our earnest wondering conclude corridor edges. Finally emerge continuing rise adventure unmeasured, solid strong road beneath steps stepping arrival cold place endured. End waiting begin something resolution shaped crossing just before we think impossible gave final resting sleep solved waiting challenge ourselves complete, raising full era awake doorway gateway crossing whole wait upon before quiet night slip into.